What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Byte stream. I'm just kidding, I have no host here. It is just me. Thomas has tragically died. He was, you know those things that they use to clean ice skating rinks? He got driven over by one, unfortunately, 2 days ago. So it's just me now. Thomas did not, in fact, die. This stream is kind of a spiritual successor to Byte stream. I don't know exactly. We'll see how it goes. For context, Byte stream was back when we did a news podcast. Nobody really cared about it. It was kind of a bit of work. There were also not enough news topics and all of that. Yeah, F's in the chat for Thomas indeed. He will be missed gravely. And Byte Me Games is doomed now. But I wanted to talk a bit about what has happened in the past, year, basically. Because, you know, every year we look at this graph and it's like, holy shit. That's a lot of extra games that got released. Over 18,000. Yeah. 19,000 almost, barely under, games released in 2024. Our good old boy Chris Sikowski wrote a whole article about it as well, so we're going to talk about that throughout this video as well. And I just want to talk about that. Also, Switch 2 got announced, for those who haven't seen it yet. Pretty cool stuff as well. I hope I didn't just make you deaf. Basically, the leaks were true, but we'll talk about it a bit more. And then we also have some weird topics that I don't know. I don't know if this is like an actual Byte stream or it's just like more of a me chatting with y'all. I saw this article and I thought it was just too funny not to mention. There's a guy and he was like developing a game that was pretty successful. Fortune's Run, 446 reviews. Unfortunately, development is going to come to an end because he's going to jail for 3 years. So stay safe, kids, stay legal. And that way you do not have to actually stop development because you're going to jail. Anyways, everyone else, by the way, Leverus, you should go to sleep if it's 3 a.m., Peter. Apart from that as well. Harneed, it's showtime indeed. Many games that suck, not enough ones that don't suck. Most are mids indeed. Spineless Fish and hello, Unit Shed Jinx as well. Alejandro Gimenez. Yeah, the Spineless Fish, I remembered you from last time. I was like, is this your game? Because this just felt so similar as well. Hi, Benjamin as well. I hope everything is going fine. Now, searching assets still. I'm no longer asking for funding. Were you asking for funding, Wartos? I have no idea what that means. I think let's just morning, or should I say good afternoon, cheers from Poland. I feel like it's also not afternoon in Poland anymore as well. And Jesus, hi as well. How have I been? I've been pretty good. Wait, what the fuck? That's not good. I shouldn't swear this early in the stream. It is 5 p.m. Yeah, I would say that's evening. No? Is it afternoon? I don't know. Hello, Marnix. I'm not afraid of competition after yesterday. What happened yesterday? I didn't fuck up, right? No, I didn't do another Magical Girl Guardians. Because I have had people, like our haters on Reddit, people are like, oh, you shouldn't be too scared. These guys have 3 years of development experience and they made Magical Girl Guardians. The competition isn't as hard as you mean, so yeah. Oh, not afraid of competition, probably after the stream from 2 years ago. Hi, I'm here in Montana, USA. Yeah, Chileman as well. Welcome, everybody. So, this is a graph. I'll zoom in a bit and we'll talk a bit about it. This is the graph that we always pull of how many games were released on Steam. And one stat that Chris Sikowski also points out in like his game is, well, Chris Sikowski, he looks at games with over 1,000 reviews. That's still a little bit of a separate matter. Also, I'm blown out completely when there's white on the screen. At the end of the day, we've gone from 3,889 games released last year that are true games and then 10,000 limited to 4,065. So year over year, if you take the look at, okay, games that are not profile features limited, those have actually not really increased that much. This is where that statement also from the title comes in of there are too many bad games, because all of the games in here with the limited games, these are games that Steam doesn't count for example, trading cards, achievements, all of that, whatever, because they're like, you know, there was like a whole bunch of like not exploits, but like cheap card dumping and money making scams, as Steam called on. So they did that limited games thing. So you also couldn't do, what is limited games? I think I can actually, here, what is limited games? So they have that profile features limited flag. So if I go, for example, to Forge Industry, that is going to be a game that is going to be limited. I know that for certain, because it's not popular enough. It says here, profile features limited. The game is currently not eligible to appear in certain showcases on your Steam profile and does not contribute to global achievement or game collector counts. So it's things like, for example, the game collector counts, where there was a thing where you had like these game collectors who just bought a whole bunch of like garbage 50-cent games because they wanted to have like a giant number of, hey, this guy owns 10,000 games on his Steam. So these games, like profile features limited was part of why they did that. I think, what else am I missing here? So yeah, no trading cards, no Steam XP badges and all of that. And the thing is, it's kind of a unknown what makes something limited, because it's like a confidence metric that Valve knows. And it doesn't look at purely user reviews, wishlists. It's not like, oh, if you sell over 10,000 copies or whatever, you are not limited anymore. Most of the things are the exact same. It's just like, this is an easy filter once again to see what are games that are actually good and what are games that never really got like a lot of reviews. Now, I have some issues with this because this is 15,000 limited games. And if you go and look at Unicycle Pizza Time, very positive, made over like 12K, almost 13K gross. Yeah, I guess chat is a little bit in the way. Also, I should put the Kofi goal back on, actually. This still has profile features limited as well. I feel like this should be a game like, if you've made this much money, because like even today, we had some good, like the last week has been so juicy. This is like not a flex. Okay, I guess it is a flex, like 1.3K. I feel like it shouldn't be profile features limited anymore. I think, of course, yeah, did Steam maybe move the goalposts over the past year as well of what is actually profile features limited, yes or no, or has that stayed the same? I'm not certain, but we'll dive into that as well later. The main thought from this basically is that, sure, there's a lot more games, but all the games that are being released, can you only see profile features limited on your own game? No, any game. So how are we gonna do this? I should not be logged in for this because I'm going to go and look at the new releases on Steam, and I do not want to get adult-only stuff in there. Oh, what did Model Dev do? What ridiculous scope is that? There's no oversaturation. It says nothing about good game. Wait, what does that mean? What ridiculous scope is that? The amount of successful games remains the same despite there being more games, so there's no oversaturation. Did I say that? I don't think I said that. I have no idea. Basically, you can see any game if I just go to like new releases. Most of these will still have profile features limited because they are, okay, this is, I should look what I'm clicking on. What is a non-adult only game? This, oh, it has 2K reviews already, never mind. Oh, this is new releases, okay. This is a new release, so this one should also stay, yeah, one user review. Oh, it doesn't say profile features limited. Can you only see it on your own games? Huh. Because there's also another thing that says like Steam is learning about this game. No, I guess we're just shit developers. I have learned now. Huh. Okay, let's try another one. Pico Mix. Okay, so their Steam is learning about the game. So this is the stage before profile features limited, basically. What is profile features? It means that your thing shows up, like your game shows up in like your, what you can do is, for example, I just want to say this, I'm not a furry, but like if you go to your Steam profile, you can like not put your game is, like I wouldn't be able to put Unicycle Pizza Time, I think, in here because it's a profile features limited game. Let me actually try that. Can I? Yeah, so it doesn't show up even though I own the game. I cannot put it as a featured game because it's profile features limited. So this is basically what it boils down to. And this is just a very easy way that a lot of people use to see what makes a game good or bad. Because if your game is good enough, then it should have gotten that tag removed of it. Marnix just seeding Steam calls in mid. Maybe. Definitely, there's still some cope there. But I think there's another approach, like what Chris Zukowski did, where he looks at games with over 1,000 reviews. I think 1,000 reviews is maybe a bit too high for like a full picture. But like even then, like how many games were there in here? Like Unicycle Pizza Time is like a top 15% game-ish. Because like only 3% of games on Steam get over 1,000 reviews. As you can see, like less than 10. It's not bad games, but it's badly marketed, badly launched games, I guess. Like if you get over 50 reviews, you are a top like 25% or like even top 20% game developer, which, you know, suddenly changes, I think, a lot of things as well in how you look at game development. I think this is what I noticed as well when I played the demos of y'all. Like some of the games are just really bad and shouldn't get over the 10 reviews. I don't know where I was going with this. Basically, there's not that many games that get over 1,000 reviews. I think if you get like 500 plus, you can already consider yourself relatively successful. Because then, yeah, 50% plus. I think if you're over 50%, you're actually trying at least. Like over 50 reviews. High Egoos and all of the other people dropping in, by the way. Because like more games definitely did release, but less like succeeded. So this is basically the rate that he took off. I'm gonna make chat a little bit smaller actually, because it's like annoying me that it's like always in the way. Marnix is punching down. Am I? I don't know. Of like percentually, less and less games actually do still get succeed. We will not be playing Minecraft anymore. That was a one-off thing. It was a lapse in judgment. If the amount of lottery winners stay the same despite more people playing on the lottery, it's not a good thing. I think the problem also, Mado, maybe, or like that I have at least, is that this is like what makes something limited is unknown. It's not like this is like not knowing. Okay, no, I don't know how to say this to the lottery thing, but it's like maybe Steam would have made games back here, like back in 2025, if they made 10k gross, they wouldn't be profile features limited anymore. Well, now it's like, oh, you need to get 25k gross, whatever. I'm just throwing random numbers out there, but I think that is something that is also not fully mentioned here because they are very like hidden about it. So maybe more games. I think just purely looking at the 4,000 doesn't really make sense. I think you do need to look at the 18,000 number overall instead of purely horror games sell, so you'll be fine with overtime only. We'll see. Where was I going with this? This can go away, this can go away. Let's take another look at this here. Unicycle Magical Girl Guardians will be a next hit with no profile. There's not going to be a unicycle, I think, in that game. So yeah, I do think some things, for example, that he says, like the theories of like developers are better at collecting wish lists, are true. I also wonder, that was like someone in our Discord server, which is awesome and you should join. It just feels like, so it feels like Chris and the like are saying these things to keep saying scores. It feels like, oh yeah, actually guys, you know, if you're an actual developer and you make good games, you'll be fine. That's, I think, a fair point as well. On the other, yeah, I do wonder how many of these games that maybe did end up in profile features limited, like maybe I'm expecting too much of myself, but you know, we got hundreds of thousands of views at this point on our like starting game dev in 2024 thing. I saw the Chris Zukowski video a bit, but I don't know. This is kind of my version. I need the golden microphone as well, I guess, to go through my slideshow. I think this is more interactive, more just talking and things like that. I mean, $45 isn't terrible. I mean, it depends on the course and whatever, I think. So if I publish my game and it collects 500 reviews, will I get a real game tag? You need less, because there is this game from our audience called Grid Road, and this one, for example, is at like 200 reviews, and this doesn't have profile features limited, for example, anymore. So it's very opaque. Maybe you can just like drill down through like all games released, but why don't you do a success story analysis? Recently, My Side silently became an indie hit. I don't think it silently became a hit, and I don't think that there is much that I can say about like, this is why Thronefall became a success, or This is why Hyper Light Breaker only got 56%, which was supposed to be an indie game. I can tell you why. The game looks kind of shit. And they lost all of what made Hyper Light Drifter so good, I think, with this game. And it just feels very soulless in comparison. I think... Okay, I'm not going to go on this side. This is a thing we'll talk about later. Let's go back to the Steam thing. I do think that people have started looking more at things like wish lists as well. Because of people on YouTube and things like that. I think when I started this, nobody, but like the 7,000 wishlist number, people talked about it, but it wasn't as important, or like a lot of developers still were like, I'm gonna ignore it. I think the amount of people focusing on wish lists and all of that definitely has increased to a certain degree. And then you get that thing of, I think maybe he talks about it as well if I just look up inflation. Okay, he doesn't. Of like a wishlist inflation, where what used to be, oh, you need to get 7,000 wish lists 2 years ago. Now it's like you need to have 10,000 wish lists or whatever. I don't know about that. I think only Steam knows that. Daily deals change as well, which means that if you are really successful, daily deals is over if you have over 100k not subscribers, like in sales around that, you can actually sign in. I'm going to put this open in a second tab and I'll just show it. I think I can show. I know I can show stuff on stream. Steam did allow me that, but basically, if you go to Steamworks, there's like a thing here called Daily Deal Management. This is something they added last year, where if your game is successful enough, you'll get an email that's like, hey, you can schedule a daily deal. And this is, once again, I think I'm saying this in a... Yeah, I'm saying this in a video coming out next Tuesday, where Steam... I'm talking about mobile in next week's video, and I talk about like, hey, Steam is kind of fair. You can't pay Steam directly, just put yourself on like the front page. Like, I can't go to like Gabe Newell or whatever, give him 100k and be like, hey, put me here, like put Unicycle Pizza Time right on the front page. Steam, like the only way you can buy yourself to this front page is just by selling a lot. And if you sell a lot of your game, Steam will automatically push you more and more and more. And I mean, that makes sense to them as well. 7k wishlist on your first 5 games is difficult. Yeah, absolutely. But I think more people are trying at least to get wishlists, trying to get content, because they understand that it is more important as well. So that's the daily deals. I'm not sure if... oh, thanks for following, by the way, Lennon Purple on Twitch, and hello, iNextTree on Twitch that as well. I think the new demo rules don't really care much for indies. I think these rules were more important for publishers. So if you don't know what this means, if you launch a demo, you can send out a one-time email if you have a demo with a dedicated Steam page. Not if it's a demo that is on your Steam, like, wait. Like, this is a demo on the Steam page. You can't get more visibility from this, but if you go to like new, I think it's just on the front page actually. I can just look here under, what is it, trending free. It's like, these are demos that have dedicated pages and they can get reviews for the demos. And if you release this, Holohammer has a button to press, and then everyone who would be following him, which is probably not many people because he doesn't have a store, like a follower page set up, would get an email. Now the thing is, this doesn't really matter for indies when these are your first games. It matters more if you are, for example, a Hooded Horse, because whenever they upload a demo, they can send an email to 70,000 followers of, hey, we just uploaded a new demo. So I don't think this matters too much for the average Bite Me viewer, so to say. Like, these are things, at the end of the day, I think indie developers like us, you and me, and I think this is, you have to be honest there, we are not entirely Chris Zukowski's target audience. Like, who does Chris Zukowski really, like, who brings money to Chris Zukowski at the end of the day? It's like, yeah, you can buy his course, but it's more studios that are, let's be honest, more professional, less hobbyists, and they run like 5-10 man teams and whatever. Those are the people that Chris Zukowski really focuses more on. Like, I think that is something to keep in mind. And in those cases, they generally do get picked up by publishers. These demo things make more sense as well. I think those are the main points I had to talk about, like, this section. I didn't have a wishlist goal for UPT, by the way. Zukowski feels like the everyman. having spoken to him one-on-one multiple times, he is different on and off camera. I'm gonna leave it at that. I have talked about this before in some videos as well. I thought he was the everyman, and then we once had a call with him, and I was like, he is not, like, I'm not gonna spill. It's just like, you know, you don't have to go to Chris Zukowski and ask about your passion project, because he will tell you, go and fuck off and make play-away games, you idiot. And the thing is, he's doing his job correctly. That is genuinely, if you want to make money on Steam, which is, once again, he's targeting those larger studios or whatever, more of the way to do things. And I think that is just something that, you know, he does. Like, I do this as well, where, like, it's the problem I also had with the demos, I guess. It's like, I see these Steam pages that sometimes you submit, and it's for like a shitty 2D platformer. He will, if you're talking to him one-on-one, he will tell you, stop this. He told me straight up, like, look, I can give you all the Steam page tips you want for Songs Ever Did. Your game is going to fail on launch. You can't say that stuff in a YouTube video, where it's like maybe one of the first interactions that you have with a potentially a client. Like, you know, it's the funnel stuff. You don't want to sound like an ass on the first time that you're talking to someone. I also, that's why I didn't want to keep doing the demos. It's like, I want to tell you that, like, hey, look, this demo shouldn't be on Steam, if we go back to the previous, like, demo roast and whatever, but it's bad vibes. It's not something that's, like, we are not close enough yet for me to have that level of trust with the viewer where I can say that and not sound like an immediate asshole and get, like, a lot of hate. Like, for example, what was it? Monster Trucking was the game. This is a game that, it's like, I can give you all the Steam page tips you can have, but this should not be on Steam in the state that it is. And he tells you that if you talk to him directly. On the other hand, he probably wouldn't say this if, like, he does like a collab with another YouTuber and all of that. Yeah, so absolutely, Trayson. So that is, I think, to keep in mind. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, is what it comes down to. The stuff he talks about is really good, but remember, the angle that he's looking at stuff at the end of the day is from a business perspective. When I asked him once as well of, like, hey, yeah, but what if, like what if a member on our team doesn't want to make play-away games? And then his answer is just simply, well, then you need to find another member for the team. That's a management problem. That's not a marketing problem. I can't help you with that. And, you know, if you tell those things to an indie developer, hobbyist, whatever developer, they will generally try and spit roast you. At the end of the day, the people who watch Bite Me, like all of y'all here, who are directly in this, like, watching the live stream and all of that, we're already a bit closer. We're not like close yet, but I can be more open with you. Whereas if you get 100,000 people to watch this stream, for example, a lot of those people will be like, you're an ass and all of that. A question, what is the amount of follower and viewers per video for you to send a YouTuber, a streamer, a game key? You can be open with me, Rohan. Just be civil about it. I generally go for any YouTubers that have more than like 5,000 subscribers. Like anything under 5,000, you can still send them keys, but the impact is going to be near negligible. Lavras, you're a Patreon. Patreon pros, that we are close. Like, that's different still. Also, you should still really go to sleep. So I think that's damn morning cypher. Patrons get firstborn, Sarkis. If you're a patron, you get my firstborn child. I am going to divide my child up in, I think at this point it's like 84 pieces, and every patron is getting like a piece sent to them. So if you want to become a patron, patreon.com/bitemegames, you can get a fractional percentage of my firstborn child for just 10 euros a month. Yeah, on the other hand, about the Steam page stream 2 days ago, everyone is basically saying to have a Steam page up ASAP, so those games had Steam page ASAP. That's a video. It's something that I already changed my mind about. If you look back, I think over the past 2 years. Last time, like 2 years ago, I was like, just have 5 screenshots and put it up. And then my mind changed to, okay, once you have a trailer, put it up. And now I'm like considering to make a video titled like very dramatically, I was wrong. Or something where I want to look back, because some of the statements I've made, like if you've made however many hundreds of, I've made a lot of videos at this point. 337 apparently. I've had some bad takes myself as well. And it's something that I did consider, like, do I want to go through it and kind of look at what are things that my opinion has changed on? Like, for example, getting Steam page up way too early and all of that. So that is a thing as well that maybe, yeah, I think definitely get the Steam page up as fast as possible. The problem is that sometimes, yeah, there's no easy answer of like when should your Steam page be up, because you want to do marketing at some point as well. It's not like you can say like, oh, 3 months in development should have the Steam page up. Name the video 1001 L's of Bite Me. Hey, we don't have that many L's, okay? But I think definitely, yeah, I have learned some stuff. I don't think you need to expect that video anytime soon, because I'll have to go through my entire backlog and watch it. But it is something that I have been like considering lately to like make a potential video about. Now, with that out of the way, what is the genre that you should be making in 2025? It is a horror game. My head is in the way. Horror. So we have, out of all the games, by far the one that had the most times over 1,000 reviews was horror games. Next up we get narrative, and so this is like also filtered out and whatever. There's like a whole article here you can read as well. 2025 era of horror. Well, Mike, did it work out for you? I hope it's gonna work out for us. And keep in mind, this is only games that are getting over 1,000 reviews. I think that is a lot for horror games. I'm not sure actually how does like Chilla's art perform, because I think there are a lot of horror games. Okay, this one like barely breaks 1,000. Like a lot of good horror games still go, okay, 2,500, stay like underneath that 1,000. I think, like, I feel like the data would be more interesting if there was a middle point as well, where it wasn't just over 1,000 reviews. Because horror games, yeah, I don't know. I think also you have to factor in, like, for example, there will be a bias, I think, with more expensive games, like 4X games and whatever. Because horror games, you can sell them for $2 to $5 or whatever. So yeah, they get released more people buy them, because it's like buying a $5 game versus buying like a 4X game is going to be $30, for example. You won't get as many reviews. I think, does he actually have a graph of earnings? I don't think, he talks about earnings later as well, definitely. Because then you see like 4X is still higher maybe. This data is not just look at this thing and immediately be like, I need to only make horror games. It's just that like making 4X games, if the game costs 6 times as much, not as many people are probably going to buy it, and less reviews as well. I think that is something to keep in mind. Then we have narrative with shooter. Shooter is a broad one. Simulation, open world survival crafting, sexually explicit. I think narrative and sexually explicit have like a 100% overlap with each other. RPG, roguelike, whatever. I think some interesting ones is just like which ones don't perform well. Like 2D platformer still did pretty well, although he talks about it a little bit later. Like I think didn't what's it called? Animal Well released last year. Like I think Animal Well will be one of the 2D platformers. Yeah, last year. And then you have Anton Blast, which is like your other 2D platformer. Damn, this is even less reviews than I expect. So we already have 2 out of the games on the total genre chart nailed down now. And it's like most people can't make an Anton Blast or an Animal Well. Those games take a lot of time and effort to make. Souls-likes, not that many. Social Deduction is one of those games. Dale and Dawson. Did they get over 1,000 reviews? Yeah, they definitely did. So this is one of those social deduction games. Social Deduction, for those who don't know, that's an Among Us, basically. Yeah, we always have that 1 or 2 platformers to feed the cope of platformer devs. Puzzle is surprising. Wait, where is Puzzle? Puzzle. Damn. I think, once again, I can't show this on stream. A lot of sexually explicit games have a puzzle tag in them, I think. What about roguelikes? Roguelike is in here. The problem is, it's like roguelike deck builder. Is there action roguelike as well? Yeah, action roguelike as well. Not as many, but like, what does like a Temtem Swarm get, for example? This is a bit over 1,000. So this is a survivor like that got over 1,000. Damn. Wow, 58. What did they do to piss off the audience? Something happened here to get that many negative reviews. Is it just the fact that it's like early access? Yeah, it seems like it's kind of just been abandoned. Yeah, need to update, never update. Okay, that's the downside of early access. You have to keep updating stuff. I thought I shot myself in the foot with hidden objects as special adventure, but it looks like it's not bad. You did shoot yourself in the foot if there's no anime waifus with big titties in there. I'm sorry to break that to you. Survivor likes have died down. It's something as well. We're making a tier list and we talk about survivor likes in there. And it's like, if we wait another half year, 9 months with Magical Girl Guardians, I think we're going to be too late. I think you have the wave, you know, like it goes up, like, you know, Vampire Survivor comes out, wave goes up, and then it like starts like plateaus and then like dies down again once people are like, okay, we're saturated. I think right now we're like riding the end of the wave basically. So I think that the survivor like trend is going to die in 2025 basically. So I wouldn't suggest you to start new ones, honestly, in good faith. I think we're kind of like Magical Girl Guardians, maybe this is Cope. I think it's still going to be all right. Man, I think Magical Girl Guardians at this point is like fine because we can generally release faster than the average Bite Me Games tour. Is there a link to the article? I can't send a link to the article, but then you'll get spoilers for the stream. It's in chat now. So don't go and read too much ahead. Is this a reaction content? I don't know. Like 4x, like I said. What didn't get anything? Hack and slash kind of surprised me because I would guess that hack and slash is part of that roguelite genre as well. Wait, categories, can I find? Where's hack and slash? Did nothing good release? Oh, that was 18 plus. Huh. I guess most of these are just not counted in as like indie. I guess. Wait, new and trending. Yeah, Pot of Exile. This is too new. New. I have no idea, honestly. I guess hack and slash isn't the new hotness anymore. Pot of Exile 2 came out. Yeah, it's indie only. Then, do you want to compare yourself? Like, this graph would be very different if you like put a Marvel Rivals in it and whatever. Because then so it's like, oh, you need to make free to play or like there's so many of the games as well. There were 2 VR games, surprisingly. What were the VR games? Now I'm curious. Find games, tags, VR. Released in 2024. Ratings and reviews, over 1,000. Oh, Into the Radius, I guess? Underdogs, definitely. Oh, and Liar's Bar. Those are probably going to be the 2 ones, I would guess, that are considered indie games. Huh. More than expected. Don't make VR games anymore. Yeah. What does they say for shooter released? Oh, yeah, I can do indie. Shooter. Mullet Magic, like, yeah. These are not exactly bullet shooter. No, boomer shooters. Anchorfoot definitely is, though. Is this a Cinti game? Oh, I think this is a Cinti game, guys. Never Stop Dreaming. No, it's not. I feel like this... Isn't this like Cinti Mobile? Cinti Simple series. Oh, they're still different. I think these are custom made. I feel like these assets can be create custom objects. Okay, it's... How did this get a sandbox? Okay. You don't need to have crazy graphics, guys. I Am Your Beast was this year. I think. Yeah, here. 10th of September 10th, indeed. Someone watched Thomas Brush, I guess. Escape room, yeah, makes sense. Tool makes sense, I guess. Immersive sim, surprise. And match 3. I'm sorry, people making match 3s. Like, match 3 is one of those genres that generally you also see with sexually explicit, but I don't think there's any games that the guy selected. Oh, Chris selected one tag for each game. Probably with one that he liked the most, I guess. Damn, dude had to look at least 20 sexually explicit games. What a guy. Because I think definitely there are... Yeah, like you look at this and you're like, oh, you shouldn't make a colony sim. I look at this and I shouldn't make a 4X or an RTS. And it's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't because you're a solo dev. But I think they are not Doom genres. So where did we go next? Like, he made this graph, which is kind of miserable to read. It shows like the evolution, where it just seems like this was the year of the horror game. Like, horror games almost over doubled. There goes my match 3 roguelite Paladrol. Please don't make that. This is a graph, one of the graphs ever made. Yeah, chat is in the way, whatever, it's fine. I think overall the main trends still stay, because it's like, if your sample size is like 3 or 2, it's like, it's kind of hard to tell how much it really matters. I think only these top 3. And these first ones just show that most of the genres, except open world survival crafting, have gotten more popular in general. Okay, yeah, so he made a list as well of like, we've gone from 29, 28, and then suddenly 47 horror games. This is a miserable to read table as well. Oh, he made a category for Vampire Survivor likes? I don't think it was in here. Oh. Doesn't have a Vampire Survivor like category in the graph here. Does he have it in here? No, I don't think so. He just manually did it. Horror escape room? Well, escape room is at a solid 0, but I think it should be. It depends, I think, on what Steam considers an escape room as well, honestly. Because I think this is a very weird, like, thing. It's like escape the back rooms. I don't think this is an escape. Like, it's games like Escape Simulator and Escape Academy, which is almost like, and this like point and click almost style games that like they make for like those actual VR arcades and whatever. Surprised that there aren't more Souls-likes. It feels pretty flooded. I think there's not enough good Souls-likes. And then good meeting, they go over the 1,000 review mark. Because indeed, a lot of people, they are trying to make Souls-likes in the past 2 years. So yeah. I think this is an interesting one as well, of like how many of the games that have been released get over 1,000 reviews. Like, what are the most successful genres in general? Like, you're making a 2D platformer, 2019 games released, 5 got over 1,000 reviews, and like you saw, there was Anton Blast, there was like a Pizza Tower and whatever. You need to do really good to go over here. I know from a developer that's released 3 games for an escape room with puzzles, and he's making a living out of it. Yeah, our pizza delivery games ranked. I don't know if that's a category even. Like psychological horror, but I don't think there was a genre for... Like psychological horror is just horror at the end of the day as well. I don't think that's included in here. Also, we are nowhere near... do I still have it open? I don't have it open. We're nowhere near 1,000 reviews. I can tell you that as well. Let's go. So what are we making? We're making a horror game. How many horrors succeed? 2%? I guess that's like average. 2,500. Is this the game with the genre? No, Puzzle has most releases, I think. Does he have a graph with amount of games released per genre? No. Too bad. I feel like if we were to rank this, hold on, what's the highest number? Horror gets most releases as well, so it's almost, yeah. How many units have we sold so far? We've sold 5,531. So get horror. No, puzzle by far, then horror, then 2D platformer, then sexual content, point and click. Point and click, once again, I think has a pretty big overlap with sexual content as well. You need to make an open world survival crafting game. The problem is open world surviving crafting games, those are not games that you can make as a solo developer often, or not make them well. an actual tag. Like, are you gonna make a Pal World? A lot of these games, like, you know, how long did Jesus Christ, 7 Days to Die? I can see down here normally. More than 10 years in early access. It's like, do you really want to do that? Like, none of these games feel like indie. Wait, where's my Steam DB? Open Worlds Survival Craft. We have... Is Satisfactory and Pal World, would you consider these two as indie? Because they technically are, if you look at their tagging. But it's like Pal World had like 7 million in the funding. I got sent a publishing contract for a potential release on the Switch for Cosmic Cosmonaut. Got a list of common pitfalls to watch out for. The fact that Switch 2 just got announced probably would be one. And then revenue share and when you will be paid and how much you have to do. Or if it's literally just you provide the source code and they deal with the rest. So if you look, these are the what was it, the 11 games that are open world survival craft. Is this an early access game as well? I feel like I've seen this before. Oh. Yeah, so this was also more than 3 years in early access. Damn. These graphics, I'm honestly surprised it got that many reviews. You need... The thing is, the tagging doesn't really matter. Or like, it's like, oh, you need a triple indie. I am future cozy apocalypse survivor. Do we need to make everything cozy? The good news you do have with a lot of these open world survival crafting games, as you can see, is that they often charge more money as well. Like $20 overly. Which is pretty solid. How does this game look? Mini Unity. If you ever needed another cozy survival game, this is like the post-apocalyptic solar punk style. I think what these people are doing well is they were probably one of the first solar punk people to actually release, because you have the actual game of like solar punk as well, but I don't know if they'll ever release anytime soon. I'm making Choo Choo Tracks a cozy game. Is that a Choo Choo Charles horror cozy game? That's the question I have now. And it's like, it's published by Tiny Build. Is this indie? Once again, up to you. I would personally say no, but does Manor Lords have the indie tag still? Or did they get rid of it? They got rid of it. They realized that, hey, maybe we shouldn't consider a game with 4 mil as an indie game. Farming is a weird one. What did they release farming-wise? I'm gonna close some tabs, 1 second. Rusty's Retirement. Fields of Mystria. They don't consider themselves, I guess, as... This is, you know, this game. Like, this publisher, Gamerski Games, I feel like they're even worse sometimes than Playway. In, like, some of the games that they've published. Wait. Okay, it seems like these are fine. But Necro Story. This is from a Belgian developer. Yeah, like these In Tycoon. I don't know. This used to be a super AI-generated capsule art as well. If you'd give me 7 mil, I'd be indie too. I don't think you'd be indie anymore. But yeah, it's like, what makes it... Like, but then the problem is if you're like, hey, if you have a publisher, you're not indie anymore, but then you have the problem called Baldur's Gate. That has no publisher. Should be fine. So it's like, this is technically an indie game. I think also Pal World had 7 mil, but didn't have a publisher. Like, yeah, Pocket Pair, they self-published. So there's a great video I once made about it. I don't know if it's great. Right, games indie. If you want to dive deeper into it, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have used indie. Does indie mean anything? think it was called. Yeah, here, does indie even mean anything anymore? Where I talk a bit deeper about like what actually counts as an indie game, what doesn't. I generally think that if your game is like more than 250k, 500k in budget, you lose what is the indie spirit, I think, is what's more important. How do you spend your money? How much do you think about what you're spending money on? Do you actually care about the money, or do you just throw like 50k to like some consultant? Because if you do that, then probably you're not a true indie anymore. So yeah, it's a gut feeling at the end of the day. What's the secret sauce for a horror game? Getting covered by one of those Spanish family YouTube accounts that has like 5 million subscribers would be one. I don't know if there's a secret sauce. Actually, I think what's that? Cynthia Ludos. He made a video. Here we go. If you want to go in this video, 2 hours and a lot of extra stuff, where he got access to the analytics of a other YouTuber, and then he looked at what actually triggered like videos to perform well, and basically if a video performs well, people are more interested in it, and he dives all into that as well. So I think this is a good video if you really want to dive deeper into that, of what makes a horror game specifically, because it uses the channel Alpha Beta Gamer, which had more of a focus as well on horror, or like horror-ish games and the likes of that. So yeah. How do we get here? I was looking at graphs, yeah. Roguelike deck builder, kind of surprising. Management, that one, kind of see coming, because management is a very broad tag. You can have small management games and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, for YouTube marketing, you have something that makes YouTubers want to watch it, and that's a good thing of like, if you have a horror game, it's like you can do the O-face thumbnails and whatever, and it gets more views, and that's what he dives into in that video as well. VR games, don't make VR games. But those are just mostly dirty hobbyists. Guess a lot of hobbyists take to the platformer. So he's like, okay, let's filter out all the games that released with less than about 7,000 wish lists. So these are all the games that had bad marketing, basically, is how you could almost say it. And then, okay, so these things, like more of the games, yeah, of course, because you filter out of bad ones, but still 2D platformers are very low. Like the order of the list stays mainly the same. Why not make VR games with data for Steam VRs, not for MetaQuest Store? Because if you've spoken to anyone who has made VR games for those stores as well, which I have, it's not better. Steam VR is still the bigger platform most of the time. Especially up until about, I would say a year ago, because the Meta Store had like a separate sandbox as well, called the Quest App Lab, I think. And this allowed you to distribute them, but you basically got no marketing. Whereas there is also just a Meta VR store. Can I find this? And here, you could only really get onto it if you spoke to people at Meta and you went to a conference and you talked to them and they signed you on and whatever. Then you can get on this store. And if you got on this store, you were solid. But that's like asking for like, oh, I just need to be on front page of Steam and then yeah, I'll sell a lot. Whereas most of the people, they were banished to App Lab. They kind of merged the two things together recently. But that is something to keep in mind. Like there are certain games that will guaranteed be successes. Because I think, for example, Laser Dance, do they have like a store page up in advance? I don't know. But this is, for example, a game that is a Belgian developer, is being used for promotion of the actual Meta Quest. So of course, this is going to get more visibility and whatever. but it's not something that you, regular old indie, usually can do, because these are developers who hit it off pretty big like 10 years ago and then stayed in touch in the entire VR ecosystem. This is not something are like, oh, you got a Quest 3 for Christmas, now you're going to make your own VR golfing sim and you're going to make yourself infinitely rich. Are you going to get some sales from here? Yeah, but it's not going to be the overarching thing that like, oh yeah, you can just ignore everything we made on Steam, like the real money is here on MetaQuest. The adoption just isn't there and all of that. Because it's like, yeah, I get VR is cool, but the user base is still so tiny, even with Meta making millions, like hundreds of millions of losses and whatever every single year, or like every quarter even. It's just not there yet, because most of the people who do VR, they just like stick to what is it, VR Chat, Beat Saber, and like a few of them. VR tech will maybe get another wave in like a few years, because like we just had CES as well, and there's like a lot of them like Big Screen Beyond and things like that, but they're too expensive still, because like these are like the quality ones, and they're like $1,000, and you need to custom order lenses and all of that. Like, yeah, this is like the future of VR, but the future of VR is still too expensive to really be there. It's like, yeah, it has Steam VR and all of that, but no, not yet. Yeah, make a hit game and then make the same game in VR, and then 95% of your total revenue will still be from hit game. I don't know, can we take a look at the... Okay. The thing is, this is bad data because the game is too old. Super Hot VR, 13.5 million, but like, and then regular Super Hot, 19 million. So, well, like Super Hot, I feel like was one of those games that I think I got it for free when I got a Oculus Rift CV1. I think Super Hot VR also came included with them and all of that. I think this is too old of a game to really look at it. Oh, what was the game that released this year? The VR one? Underdogs, that was it. Underdogs. Like, this is the best performing game, and yeah, it got 817k. But it's like, this is the best VR has to offer this entire year. Less than $1 million. And it's like, yeah, if you got $1 million, it would be really nice. Is it Gaslers? It's not Gaslers. I need to look up. My Dearest. There was this Japanese publisher that I considered like meeting up with for a video. And because they got signed with a Belgian, yeah, Big Shots, that was the name. Big Shots. It's like, okay, 14k. This game is, it's not basically the same. This is also like Underdog. Actually, where did they fuck up? What did Underdogs do that Big Shots didn't do? Because I think both of them are VR mech fighters at the end of the day. Yet, it definitely didn't really hit off. I think this is an interesting one. I feel like Altered Eyes is currently crying their eyes out. Or maybe they were just too late, because Underdogs was already out? Huh, this is an interesting one. These stats are for Steam only. Most VR users must buy on VR stores only. If that's what you want to think, sure, but Steam VR is still a pretty big platform at the end of the day. And like I said, like everyone puts their games on the stores, but visibility is way lower. It is kind of funny how the Underdogs won from the Big Shots. That is a pretty good one, Revolver over. Look, you can be like, no, VR is the way to go. Don't listen to me. What if I genuinely do not care. Like, I have nothing to lose. If you want to make a VR game, go and make a VR game. But I wouldn't risk like financial stability on it. Don't be like, I'm gonna quit my job and make VR games because you have that hope of, oh, but I'm gonna sell more on other platforms, right? It's not just Steam. I think then you're dumb. But if you want to make a VR game because you do have a VR headset lying around, it's like, I want to do something cool with mixed reality. Because I've had that as well. I've like gotten like fun ideas as well. Like, oh, maybe I should get one of those Quest 3s and like play around with it. How hard can it be? But it's like, I would never ever consider making a commercial game in VR. Really, I think it's not the move. How do we get here? Yeah, so basically these guys had a publisher. How did Exit 8 VR do? I think this one should have ooh. Who said just have popular game? We go from 2.4 mil to 10k. That's not ideal, I would guess. But yeah. How's the pricing difference actually? I think Exit 8, so $7. Oh, not Payday 2. Why did it get Payday 2? Exit 8. $7 versus $4. I guess there's pricing the VR game higher, I think, is a ballsy move as well. Yeah. Hey, maybe one day I'll drop by my dearest because they're in Tokyo. I want to make a video with them, but problem is my Japanese. Is this another Mecha VR game? They just signed all the Mecha VR games, I guess. Is this game out? Free demo. MetaQuest only. Add wishlists. This is Steam. Game out? No, not out yet even. How many wishlists do they have? Forgot the name already. Mecha Force. 8k. It's like it's all right. Okay, time to close a whole bunch of tabs again. We'll get there, boys. Still, adult games are down as well. So maybe my advice of, hey, if you just want to make money, make an adult-only game, does work. I think that the problem is that this is probably one of the genres, in my opinion, very biased opinion, very low sample size. I think more adult-only games get released, but I think a lot of them are AI slop. I think this is the genre that suffered the most out of all of the Steam genres and all the Steam games released. That is like actual like AI-generated slop. Like a lot of the assets are AI and all of that. I think this would be the game that has. I know some developers who do it, and it's like, yeah, cool story, bro, but you're not selling much. Actually, no. Percentage of games tagged goes down. So I'm talking out of my ass, I guess, because more other games have been released. Like, huh? Okay, I don't know. This is unexpected almost, I would say. Because where did the other games go for then? What genre suddenly got such a big increase year over year to push down adult only? Can you reach the Unicycle Pizza Time numbers with an adult game? Yeah, easy. You can go way higher than that. Way higher. Aha, here's the call to action. He's going to have his live reveal show. And then he had the discounted game marketing ideas course. Well, you got my show for free, everybody. More games than ever. 75% are most likely hobbyists as first games. Hobbyists or aspiring professional developers, is also known as Bite Me Games Viewers. AI girls became too accessible. I think so, but that doesn't explain why there's less adult-only games, I think, is the main questions. And it's like best games with best chances at success or craftybility. I think so. Best chances. This indicates luck, basically, and it's a video I'm planning on making in the next month or something. It's like, yeah, craftybility games. What is it? Where is it? Like let's call it just management. Like city builder, management. Is there a dedicated management like simulation? No. So strategy, city builder, no strategy, no. And then management, no city builder. So let's say 19, 16, whatever. Okay, we're missing some stuff here. The thing is, this is a generally high-performing genre, right? And that's why it says like make a crafty city builder game, whatever. If you want to make high amounts of money, high amounts of revenue. The thing is, you cannot, and I'm talking to you, Mr. Viewer, you cannot make this game probably in half a year, in even less time. And maybe this is me pushing slop, but it's like you can make 3 or 4 horror games in a time it takes to make one crafty building game. Maybe even like you can make even more if you want to make like the early access and you want to do 3 years of like development on your crafty building game, because that's what a lot of people do. And it's like, yeah, sure, where's the graph? Like your chances of success, like 5.3% reach over 1,000. Whereas for horror, it's only 1.8, but you can just infinitely more release. You see that even with like 350 management games versus 260 horror games as well. All these games are subgenre simulation. Yeah, but it's like, would you call a Pioneers of Begonia and a Supermarket together the same game? I don't think so. I think there's still a lot of differences in there. I think you do need to do the subdivision. In 6 months, I can make a horrible crafty building. Doesn't that count as horror? No, because I don't think that's the play either, Volcanic. I think... Yeah, Valve is expanding space to promote more games. Yeah, I think that's the problem as well. Of more and more games are getting out. Steam tries to do their best to promote them more, but it's like... You can only do so many Next Fests and so many festivals and whatever. Like, even now... I think it's almost a ridiculous amount of festivals sometimes that they have, where it's like, if you look at March, for example, it's like, wait, I'm going to see if I can do this Steam upcoming events, because I think that this is going to be something that requires me to log in, yeah. But it has been announced normally, yeah. Events. Yeah, no, 2024, yeah, here, first half of 2025. So, it's like, we have Next Fest March 3rd, and then March 3rd ends immediately Visual Novel Fest. Then we have 3 days, and then it's Spring Sale. And then we once again have 4 days, and then it's City Builder and Colony Sim Fest. It's like, when should you release a game in March? That's the problem we run on, like, in now. We wanted to release Magical Girl Guardians in March, but it's like, okay, Visual Novel Fest, probably the first 2-3 days Steam page will be taken over by special banners for that. Then it's Steam Spring Sale. You don't want to release in the Spring Sale either, because then you get less visibility, because once again, store page is different. City Builder and Colony Fest, I'm pretty sure, because this is one of the best-selling genres on Steam in general, they're going to just dominate the entire Steam store page for, once again, the entire week, most likely. And it's like, okay, we have 7 days that we can technically release a game. I think even less, because you can't release on weekends. Everyone is going to release in that period, because you have a lot of people as well. I think Chris talked about it in a another post of like all of the people who are releasing right after the Steam Next Fest as well. What's the best fest for horror game? It's probably going to be the Scream Fest. Those are like in, I think, the week before like Halloween, like second half. But yeah, and even then they're like some of these fests, like the Idler Fest, it's like doesn't really matter. Like they'll give the store page like one day maybe a makeover, and then they'll revert back to the default one and just have like a little banner or whatever. But like the Visual Novel Fest, I'll probably would say 2 days and then go back to banner. But City Builder and Colony Sim Fest, this is going to get a shit ton of attention. Also, like, yeah, April is better. You have like almost a full month in April, because like who the fuck cares about Sokoban games? I'm sorry, let's be honest. Not that many people probably. So this is not going to be something that you need to worry too much. So if you can, I would try not to release a game right now in April, because it's going to be an onslaught of how many games are released, how much visibility. You're kind of getting stolen, not stolen, but like you're not going to get as many organic visibility, as many discovery queue and whatever, because all of these games, every single City Builder, one of the favorite genres of like Steam users, is going on sale. Those are things to keep in mind as well. Should we wait for Halloween? My game will be finished by around July. No, I don't think you should. You don't need to wait that long. You can wait, but you don't need to wait like if you were gonna say I'm gonna release in October, yeah, then, or like in September, but horror games at the end of the day, I don't know for certain yet because we haven't released one yet. But my thought is that they'll be kind of flat throughout the entire year, and then there'll be a spike with Halloween, but that spike is always gonna be there. Is my guess. This is a wild ass guess, but yeah. Why is Hyperlight Breaker in the thumbnail? Because Hyperlight Breaker has shit reviews. I think we can talk about that soon, because I think we're almost done with the article. Yeah, he's just talking about why there 1,000 reviews. Like, also, I do like this one, where, like, he's like, we're not including these games, which is like, an FMV. It was like full movement. It was something like, this is basically not a game, it's like an interactive movie more. And he's like, yeah, this only sells in China, basically. I wonder, what does Game Analytic have to say about that? Knowledge or no lady? What is like the breakdown of this? Yeah, it's like China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and then 6% US at least. But most of this revenue is like probably China. And then you also have to keep in mind that I would guess this style of game, that's basically just a full-on movie set, would be more expensive to develop even, is my guess. I think this is something indeed that you should not go for. I can live with that one. Free games he did include as well. There were some bugs, or like not bugs, but yeah. And then yeah, I think overall, should you worry about Steam? I think you should just make better games. What is the best way to earn money as a game dev, ethical or not? I don't think there is a great way. Probably like selling fentanyl if you're in the US, and then making games on the side. Do you know the median revenue of an adult game? We can find it out. Let's release everything released in last year or more recent. Median revenue 2.5k. Huh. It's the highest median revenue even. Okay, but I prefer to look at bottom 30%. Still, some of the highest revenue you can get. Like basically the highest revenue you can get. Top 5% is lower though. But I think for most indie devs, this is Game Analytic. Oh yeah, it's in the way, I think. Guess Game Analytic. This is like the site I use for this. I think, yeah, adult only is like one of those games that maybe one day it's like you want to make it, try it out. It's like, okay, we'll see how it goes. We'll probably get some shit for it, so we probably don't want to be as reliant on YouTube money anymore at that point, but have game dev money and actual game money that we can sustain ourselves from take the hit. I have access to some internal data, and some of these numbers are drastically off. Top grossing. The thing is also, with top grossing, I don't know how much I can show of this. Actually, I think I can show this. Give me a second. I need to just make sure. Like, this is sales of like Steam sales, right? But there is also, oh god, how am I gonna find this? Things like Patreon are giant. Like, for example, you have the Being a Dick series. I think this should be fine to show. Please don't have poops on the... Okay, yeah. Like, this is 12 mil. Pretty acceptable, right? And then if I'm looking at this. Okay. Here, yeah. So then this should be fine, I think, to show. This is Patreon earnings. And Being a Dick is made by Dr. Pinkcake. Okay. Let me quickly check once again. There's nothing NSFW on here. Yeah, it's like, okay. Estimated earnings a month, 34 to 91,000. Like, if you look at the... Damn, why do they spike so hard? Maybe it's like when they release an update? Huh. But like, you see, they have been earning a solid stream, and this is like the 6th highest earner. And like here, this is making something like a furry adult only game 90k a month. And that is on top of Steam sales. This is in development already. I think those are things to keep in mind as well. Like, Steam doesn't say the full numbers, basically. Like, if you want to do adult-only games, you often have to look into these things like Patreon and things like that, because people want to give you money for it, basically. So it's like, do use it. It's not free money at the end of the day. Like, a lot of things do still take time and effort. Some of our people in our audience can definitely testify to that, but this is one of the things that there is basically no other genre you can do where people would pay for a Patreon at all before your game is out. It's like you have to do early access or you have to do a Kickstarter. And a Kickstarter is just a one-off. Patreon, I think, is better because it's more sustainable. Like, I think, for example, he was in chat earlier. We can pull him in, maybe. It's called Adult Dungeons. It'd be fine. I'm just ready to click off. Yeah, it's like 10k a month. This is solid. I feel like a lot of you guys would literally cut off your left nut right now, if you're a guy at least, if you could get this number. But it's not like, oh, I just make adult-only game and money flows in. It's not that easy, but this is something like you can earn more in a single month than like, how much, like, I think I can see here. Analytics. How many games last year released more for more than 10k? Like, you're in a... What he makes more in a month than 80% of games on Steam. Lifetime, released in the last year. And it's like, it sounds very enticing. How do they go to Patreon? You advertise your Patreon through the game because you do open development at the end of the day. You do early access, you develop the game. Itch.io is filled with adult-only games as well. F95 Zone, there's a lot of other places as well. So yeah, definitely don't just look purely at Steam Analytics. The trick is indeed sacrificing your left nut to Moloch. Yeah, indeed. So it's not like, I mean, you've said it as well, Maldo, as well. Like, yeah, Bite Me Games, we were like, oh, we look at this number, like, okay, why are we making Magical Girl Guardians not 18 plus? It's like, right, but it's like, it's not as easy as just slapping some big hentai titties on the game and then immediately the money is going to come on. Problem with Patreon developers is if they keep working on one game forever, it's like, yeah, but if you're making that, the thing is, I think that's not true. The studio, if you have 10k a month, like if you look at like a Dr. Pinkcake, that's not one developer. You just contracted out at that point and you just manage the Patreon and the development, but it's not like you're gonna be stuck eternally to a single game. Now, of course, you are definitely gonna have longer development cycles, is what I've learned as well, where people also just want to see more content, more kinks, more everything, basically. But it's like, if you're earning money, if the alternative is releasing and getting like, you know, the alternative is the Exit 8 VR, I think a lot of people would not mind working on the same game for 5 years in a row if they could make a solid, stable income from it. At the end of the day, if you look at it that way, it's a job. You generally don't love your job 100% of the time, right? You like it, you tolerate it maybe, or maybe you don't even like your colleagues and whatever. But it's like, yeah, you get 2.5k a month, like dollars or whatever. So yeah. Dark COO of adult-only games that occasionally involve unicycle. I think a unicycle NSFW game would be very weird. I think we're gonna wait with that one. Yeah, Steam numbers can get crazy with multiple games on your roster as well. So yeah, how did we get here? I don't know anymore. Adult-only games. I switched to a new adult-only game. Yeah, I think it's not that uncommon. I think it's just like how you have people who are like the 7 Days to Die to 10 years of development on the same game, and you also just have people who make new games from time to time. I think it's not like you only can make that specific thing. I think I can look up analytics for Flipwitch. Flipwitch. Don't have boobs in the capsule. Don't have boobs in the capsule. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. At 2.2 million. I don't know how accurate it is. Critical Bliss. I have the Steam numbers to compare. Now I want to know how much difference. But yeah, you have a lot of games. Also, like Scarlet Maiden was like one of the real numbers, 2.7 gross. Yeah, so not that far. Like, it's within the range they give at the end of the day. I feel like with NSFW, especially with now how you can not report it basically as well. Russia is full with weird guys for adult-only games. Like, a lot of weird games Russia is surprisingly into, is what I've learned as well. So, yeah. I think that's going to be wrapping up the 2024 year in review, I would say. I think it's time then to do a little call to action, because boys, I've been in here for an hour and 15 minutes. You clearly enjoy this because we're getting some really good numbers. Like, since 2025, our streams have honestly been pulling in pretty good numbers as well. If you want to help support me and make sure that these streams can keep happening, there's a few ways you can do it. And I'm going to give you the easiest way you can think about right now. Do you have Amazon Prime? Do you like Jeff Bezos to deliver shut up, your packages like instantly or whatever? You can give us money for free. Make shorter video, please. Luigi, I'm never gonna make shorter videos, I think. You're gonna hate the upcoming videos. There is I don't think I can see it here. If you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you don't even have to watch me on Twitch, but we are live on Twitch, FYI. There is a button here, get a free monthly sub with Prime Gaming. If you click, like if you link your Twitch and you click on that button, there will be a button that says like, hey, use my Prime sub. Exactly, come get Shreked. He knows how it works, thank you very much. Jeff Bezos is now going to directly come and give us like $1.50, $2 or whatever. It's not crazy money, but definitely, if we look at the numbers, how many of y'all have Prime anyway that don't really use it? May as well give it to us, right? I don't know. So yeah, thank you very much, come get Shreked. And it's like, you can keep watching on YouTube, I don't care, but I have to keep doing these plugs because it doesn't auto-renew. So even if you did the Prime sub before, in like less than more than a month ago, you have to reapply it. So that is something to keep in mind. I do like how the viewer numbers are going up. I'm just gonna drop the link as well, just to be sure. The spineless fish, the stream is probably go for a while. I don't have an exact time of when this ends. I only sub to hot chicks with Prime, just like Twitch expects me to. No, hot chicks with Prime, those are tier 3 subs. You can't get them with Prime, if I remember correctly, if I know correctly. So you can use it on me instead. Also, you don't think that I'm hot? Oh, sometimes we get these beautiful comments. Let me actually pull up YouTube Studio for a second. I sent this to Thomas earlier as well. We get some... This was on one of our tier list videos. Where was it here? It's like, he's so handsome. If he started a cycle, he'd look hot as heck. So maybe Thomas should do gear. Who knows? Yeah, interesting stuff in there. We're not going to be making shorter videos anytime soon, no matter how much I would like it. I currently am going through like a whole editing spree. I have two tier lists that are like 35 and 38 minutes long coming up. Stop commenting yourself on alts, JK. Your videos are great and I really appreciate transparency as the videos grow longer though. It's harder to commit time to watching it. My dude, you're watching like a stream for an hour and 20 minutes. We upload 2 videos a week. I don't think you need to watch I mean, yeah, Mickey, most videos are pretty good. And I think you can watch everything. It's like, I felt the opposite. I sometimes feel bad because most of our videos, like, if a video is less than 10 minutes, I feel like it's not going to have enough value for it. Maybe that's a weird one. That's maybe purely just a meeting. It's also, I think, just personal preference. I will not consume videos if they're less than 25 minutes long when I watch YouTube myself, really. Because I know, like, I don't want the fluffy 10-minute long videos. I want the super deep and like more in-depth stuff. If you can talk 40 minutes about something, there's probably going to be something that I can pick up from it, kinda. I'm gonna stick to this right now. It's annoying because it's like the longer the video is as well, I have to edit more. So, oh, Pirate Software Drama. I have. It's not game dev related, but I have been following it. It's funny, I guess, but that's not like, it's not whatever. I'll keep it in. One thing I considered is like bringing back shorts, because we haven't done shorts in a long time. But it's like, I personally do not like shorts. I think they're kind of useless as well. Like, what do these stats do for us? 10k views, €1, 7 subs. 7 is all right. This one is pretty good engagement, €1. It's like, doesn't really matter that much. I'm gonna keep making the videos, I think, just the length that I want right now. My personal goal is I aim between 15 and 20 minutes of raw footage, so to say. And then I cut them down, and then if I cut out like my fuck-ups and whatever, we end up at about like 13 minutes, 11 minutes often. If a video is like, for new people though, I don't know if it's hard to commit to a long video. Yeah. On the other hand, most of our views are on long videos. 28, 33, 20, 21, 18 and a half, 32, 22. Like, this is just pure drama, so I wouldn't even look at the length. I didn't forget about the drama. I think for new viewers, like our highest performing views are pretty much like the tier lists and longer videos. How's retention on this one, for example? Engagement? Yeah, okay, we drop off at the end, definitely very hard. But it's like, the thing is, I want you all to be smart. I don't know if it makes sense. Like, maybe this is me being wrong. If so, that's maybe the move. But I think if you're someone who wants to learn game dev and you can only watch hyper-edited 6-minute long videos and shorts and whatever, then probably game dev isn't gonna be for you. Because my god, there's a lot of boring and slow stuff. I have been fighting with Steam support since last year, and they still haven't resolved an issue. It's been 17 days at this point. If you... Unrelated maybe, but yeah. I think definitely, I think the time in videos is like retention maybe. But this was a bad video, honestly. It should never have gotten that many views. Oh, I could see retention here. It's like below average still, because it's just a bad video, I think, genuinely. I don't like the fact that this performed well. Or like, I like that it performed well, but I don't think it's a video that I'm proud of. I do think recent topics seems to be repeating themselves. Then what do you want me to talk about? I can't give you more. The thing is also, remember, I'm a slave to the algorithm. Okay, that's not like that, but I think it was in November. I made a bunch of videos and I was proud of them. I really liked them, but performance just wasn't there. And at the end of the day, these videos, they still perform really well. Low effort content seems to track, but I don't think you can call my videos low effort. It's also like, one thing that I've also realized is that repeating yourself isn't a bad thing, because none of you listen the first time I say something. And even if I do exactly repeat myself, there's this video. This is a great example. I made 2 videos. 7 game dev time waste. Exact same title and everything. It just works. People like it. And all of that. And it's like, this is something that I struggled with a year ago. But as you get better at YouTube, you realize that honestly, you're not gonna be watching these videos in 6 months, realistically. Or you haven't been watching the videos I made 3 months ago. There's always going to be like, even if your subscribers doesn't really grow, people like drop out and then new people come in, and it's like, I needed to realize that people who watch Bite Me haven't been watching Bite Me games from the start. So now it's like, okay, it's been more than 6 months since I've made a video on a certain thing. I just remake that video, basically. I don't remake it like 100% exact same things that I talk about, but I do. I think there's like another one, skills? No. So, yeah, YouTube channel is not a course. You upload more stuff and things like that. What did you do, Scuzzy? Speaking frankly, when I'm hitting speed bumps, I just want background noise to struggle, so when else builds about to struggle. Yeah, that's it. So, I think And this is perfectly fine. If you think that the videos are repeating themselves, I think that means that you have grown as a game developer. And it means that maybe you're gonna get more value out of a Scientia Ludos and all of that, basically. Where I learned this as well of like people that I was super into as YouTubers, and I consumed everything. And also I was like, yeah, actually you've been saying the same thing now for the last like years. A good example of this is Ali Abdaal. Who here watches Ali Abdaal? I watch him, or like I listen to him. I don't watch YouTube, I listen to YouTube. Okay, this may be a side tangent. He basically makes the same 10 videos and then he makes them again, is what it comes down to. And yeah, it's like you used to watch him years ago, but at some point you're like, okay, I'm not learning new stuff anymore. So you stop watching him and you move on to a new channel. And that's fine. But Ali Abdaal, he's still pulling in views. And it's like 2 million views 3 weeks ago, 390k. How many times do you think he has made this video at this point? Like probably more than 10 times. But every time he gets different viewers as well. So I think maybe, yeah, it's not like I want you gone, definitely. But I think just throwing like, oh, you're repeating the same thing isn't actually helpful for creators, because that is not at the end of the day why they're here. Yeah, no one learning from first try of Black Moon. So indeed, what is the video going to be about that I'm uploading tomorrow? Because maybe you guys were like trying to sneak peek as you see the video for Tuesday, but there hasn't been a video scheduled yet for tomorrow. That's because I'm still editing it. Are the YouTube videos profitable though? It depends on what you call profitable. Like if you look purely at like, okay, what is a decent performing video here? Like this performed worse than expected, but still okay. Bam, 23 euros. But 122 subscribers. So this is just a video aimed at basically getting new viewers. And then we have other videos that barely get any new viewers. I think this is... Yeah, like this has 3k views less, but only 1/3 of the subs basically gained, and also way less revenue or whatever. You don't have to do YouTube for the AdSense. Like the AdSense alone isn't worth it, but it's where other things come in. It's when I do, for example, our favorite tool, I think it's this one, just became free. It's gonna be that one. This one, like this is a video, it performed pretty badly, right? Like 6 euros in AdSense, so you think like, oh, this isn't worth it. But we got 1,000 euros for this video, because then you get sponsorships and whatever, and then it does make more sense. You can't look at YouTube purely from an analytics number, because you're always going to lose. You have to look at it from sponsorships, affiliate marketing, brand deals, all of that. And those things only work if you have these videos. It's all the other stuff, like our Patreon, wouldn't exist if we didn't have the YouTube channel. And I think that's the thing, like directly AdSense and things like that, it's not worth it. But it's all the things that come with running the YouTube channel that make it more worth it. And I think definitely right now, we can't drop the YouTube channel. So yeah. Oh, Pirate Software Jam is starting tomorrow. Oh God. Starts in 20 hours. God damn it. So the drama is Pirate Software got kicked out of his OnlyFans. No, not OnlyFans. His OnlyFans World of Warcraft Hardcore Guild after playing with Asmongold. It was two things. He played with Asmongold and people don't like Asmongold, so then by extension they don't like Pirate Software. And then oh, you have to upload a game design document? Oh yeah, your submission must include a game design document. Wow. No AI generated, no more, no those trucks, okay. Damn, you're gonna be spending like a day writing the document already. So that was one thing, and then the second thing is like he did a dumb move in like the hardcore WoW raid, and that made like everyone lose their stuff. No, he did play with Asmo, no? Or like he talked with Asmongold or something, whatever. And then he doubled down, he tripled down, and then he did like that. My dad works at Blizzard, and he started because he used to work at Blizzard, and then like people sent him like started like annoying him in game and like sending angry messages. So then he reported like their Blizzard thing, and yeah, he ran out of the dungeon. Oh, so he discussed it on video with Asmongold. Yeah, I definitely did see the fact that people also weren't happy by the fact that he talked with Asmongold because of Asmongold's questionable political stakes. Let's keep it at that. But it's like, you know, at the end of the day, he's not as, like, how much does he still game dev? How much does he play other things? Like, I think definitely game dev content that he does has dropped a bunch. Does he still work on games? Yeah, but I think he's a different kind of game dev than most of other YouTubers or whatever. So it's 2 weeks, 2-week game jam. Yeah. You get a game jam laurel, a channel on the Discord, a shout out, and personal feedback from off-brand games. Home publishing. Yeah, that's true. He joined the off-brand games thing as well. Oh, he does dev stuff? Just Minecraft mods, okay. And sponsored by Game Maker. Not too bad. Fort reward is nice, yeah. But it's feedback from off-brand games. I don't know how, like... Also, I don't know how many people still work at off-brand. And, like, how many people are winners. So... yeah. It's still something, definitely. And this is where I will probably get that question of... when are you doing the Bite Me Games Game Jam, Marnix? And the answer to that is never. It's a mid-Forge industry. It has a game design document. A Forge industry is never gonna run in browser. The browser is going to explode. We are not submitting Forge industry for the game jam. Individual capture banned. Just kidding. I have some alternative ideas. Maybe... Ooh, I haven't even ran this by Thomas. End of March. You're gonna want to have something. That's all I'm saying. End of March. If we do something, it's gonna be end of March, early April. I'll tell you that much. If we are going to be doing something, it should be official in like 2-3 weeks from now. It's not gonna be the unicycle game jam. Doesn't allow AI. The thing is, you can't validate if someone uses Copilot. You can look at the art and be like, oh yeah, this is clearly AI generated. But I think like no one is going to know if you use Copilot or not. So I think you can like it's much easier basically to get away with it. Just don't use it as like your main capsules and whatever. Yeah, ease of judging and reduction model. Like it does make sense. I wonder. Be all in for a Bite Me game jam, but it's not gonna be a game jam. I was gonna look it up. I think it's Miss ETH. He won the Pirate Software Jam, I think.
You know,
didn't he? Someone won the Pirate Software Jam. I don't think it's him actually then. Another game dev YouTuber won a Pirate Software Jam or something, or made like one of the games, whatever. If someone tells you not to AI, not the art part, it's just yeah. We will not be joining at least. Oh, there's also gonna be a team. What is the team? I guess they haven't announced the team yet, right? Yeah, to be determined. Because it's the whole thing with the game jam as well. So I can't upload Forge Industry, and I'm not going to. Pirate Software by proxy develops a bunch of games by hosting game jams. Well, he does. Does he participate? I mean, he would probably make like submit in the game jam as well, I would hope. Yeah, because also I think Ludum Dare stopped. Yeah, Ludum Dare got cancelled because the developer ran out of money. Or like, not the developer, like here. Like all Ludum Dare game jams have been cancelled for 2025 because he couldn't get a job, because that is game development. So yeah. Good thing is that there's still a lot of other game jams that you can join. I didn't get sponsored to say this, but they're homies, and I kind of feel bad from... Oh, I should not do this logged in, because it's dangerous. I kind of feel bad from the Byte stream. The Planetary Processing Game Jam. They're hosting a game jam as well. 19 people right now. And you can win money instead of other stuff. So basically, if you want to make an MMORPG, you can make some money as well if you want. Hey, out of 19 members, top 3, 4 may win something. Could be nice as well. Planetary Processing is pretty nice. The thing is, they wanted us to participate with it as well. I am unavailable basically that period to do like a lot of intense work and game jams. Like, cause the reason I'm also recording a lot of videos right now is because the first 2 weeks of February I'll be having less time. Sorry. Yeah. I sent them an email before this was public as well of like, look, if you want us to join, it's not going to be 10 days. If it's going to be 2 or 3 days. I don't think you should do 10 days, but I get what they come from. Because it's like, yeah, it's kind of a new thing. It's kind of like a promotional game jam, whatever. I can't join. Because it was something that I would probably otherwise have joined, because I do think they're pretty chill guys, pretty everything, whatever. It just doesn't make sense scheduling-wise for me. And we have enough stuff to do. And you don't need a game design document, I think. Yeah, so that is the thing. Not every... What is Pragpunk even? I've never made a game design document. What's your opinion on it? I have no idea what Pragpunk is. So, game design documents, it's like... You shouldn't make this, I think. It's like, oh, development timeline. You have zero fucking clue what you're writing here. This is not a single person who participates in the game jam is going to be able to stick to this. Nobody. I think this is dumb. What I like to do is the one-page game design documents, where it's more just having a brain fart place where you can write down your initial idea, a bit of your styling and whatever, that you can look back at, but I don't think you need to make it like 10 pages and whatever. I think writing a bit down of what you actually want makes it worth it, or like makes it, yeah, good. But I think, especially for indies, making those 50-page game design documents, because I definitely see those as well pass by sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah, if it's a rubber duck conversation with ChatGPT, that works as well. You can honestly probably just ask ChatGPT at the end of the conversation, like, okay, can you now make this in like... I think I've even done that myself when I was like... I do those rubber duck conversations as well, and I just asked like, hey, can you like summarize this entire thing once again? Thank you very much. I think that is a thing as well. My game design document is a recording of me speaking to a jar of mayonnaise. I'm not sure about that, because you don't want to do video. I think you want to have it like very... Because you don't want to go over like 20 minutes of audio to figure out like what your game idea was. I think you do want to have it written down with like some images, but keep it really simple is what I would focus on. Definitely. And that's the first topic of the Byte stream over. Let's talk about the Switch 2, guys. It got announced. Are you guys excited? They released this video today of like all of the upgrades. It's a really cool style, I think, of like all. It basically just takes like the Switch 1 and then expands. Oh, they have 2 USB-C ports now. I think some interesting stuff. Controllers seem to have gone a lot more fragile. With this thing, if it's gonna show. this board. So now Switch has gone from the, like, you know, it had like the click thing at the beginning of everything. Now it's like a clap instead, of like they magnetically snap together. The thing is, can we see the sides? Let me mute it. Yeah, like these boards, I feel like they're gonna break very quickly. And now it's not a controller that you have to do, but instead you have to replace the whole unit most likely. I think this is gonna be something I would be scared of breaking. Very scared of it. I think it's also kind of sad that the logo is a bit, well, unoriginal. Wait, it's literally just the same Switch logo with a 2 next to it. I wonder how many meetings they had about like, we need a new logo. Let's just add a 2 to it and call it a day. Now the advantage is, there they mentioned it I think here at the end, it is cross-compatible, plays Nintendo Switch 2 games and original Nintendo Switch ones. Yeah, the snap sound got changed. It's instead of the snap, it's a clap now, because it like claps together into the thing. The nub is rubbery instead of hard plastic. Yeah, definitely bigger size increase. Like this is, I think, what the leaks also told what the console was going to look like. I think overall bigger is better, because like the OG Switch, I was recently working with it again. It is tiny in comparison to like a Steam Deck and whatever, where it almost feels like in comparison now, like you have nothing to hold on to, like for the back of your hands and whatever. So I think that the bigger style is definitely going to be kind of nice to a certain degree. You can copy my homework, but make sure to change a little. Yeah, I don't know. The Switch is meant to be a mobile device for travel. Yeah, but I think it can be a bit bigger. Morning's confirmed for big hands. I don't know. I don't have that big of a hand, I think. Anything can run an Unreal Engine 5 game. Definitely. I feel like a Switch 1 would struggle a bit. But yeah, otherwise, I generally do think it looks pretty interesting. We're going to... The plan is, but we're not working on it yet. I did not see Notch's controversial tweet about making a game engine. The plan is definitely what we want to do. After Magical Girl Guardians is out, I want to lock Thomas in a room with the dev kits, and he's going to just port the entire backlog. He's going to port Unicycle Pizza Time, he's going to port Overtime and Only, and he's going to port Magical Girl Guardians to Switch 2, to Xbox, and to PlayStation. That is the plan we are currently at. There's a really cool video on Patreon if you want to know more about how it works. Let me pull it up. If you want to know more about consoles and it's something you're considering, Patreon, 10 euros, and you can binge over 50 videos where I just am like, let's talk about everything. How will you get multiplayer? Multiplayer will that's the thing we're not sure about now. There's 2 options. Either we're gonna have to rip out Steamworks anyway. Either we add cross-platform networking, but it would require us to do some kind of hosting, like a Photon or whatever, or like have a matchmaking server that we ourselves manage. Or we stick to platform-only networking, where we can use the more easy approach of using Switch friends, PlayStation friends, whatever, but then it wouldn't be compatible, basically. Well, we haven't sold on Switch yet, Rohan, if that's what you're asking. Dragon Quest. I think also Octopath Traveler 2, is an Unreal. Is it? Or maybe Unreal Engine 4 still. I don't know. Definitely, this was a Switch game, I think, as well. It says on Switch games and exclusive Switch 2. So if it ports to Switch, it should be fine, right? The thing is, we don't want to deal with Switch 1 hardware as well, because it's the amount of like changes we would make, I think, would not make sense. Like if you want to run Unicycle Pizza Time, it's not a super intensive game, but it's like a Switch 1 is really old, and it's like all of the work to get that running at like 30 FPS or 60 FPS in docked mode, I think it wouldn't be worth it. I think then I would rather, yes, I'm the lazy developer who just puts ray tracing and like AI upscaling and everything, call it a day. I would still rather just focus on Switch 2, where we have actual real hardware to work with and not like a 7-year-old tablet, basically. Start with platform-specific multiplayer. That's the idea we have right now, to just do platform-specific. And then, but it's still like the documentation is miserable for like all of them. So that's why we've got the dev kits, but we don't really want to worry about it right now. So we're gonna work on the other games, and then after Magical Girl Garden is done, that's what I said. Like, I'm gonna lock Thomas in a room. He has already got the dev kits, and then he only gets food, and then he can leave the room again once that the games have all been ported. So yeah, that's kind of the idea we have there. Because it's like, Switch and all is cool, but it's like, we shouldn't drop development of other stuff. How many people in Bite Me Games? 3 people, I think. Yeah, I think after I tried the Atlas gear you recommended, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's just scared. The Wii U, yeah. Switch 2 definitely is the most clear that it's not an upgrade. But I part of me would have found it very funny if they called it the Nintendo Switch Pro Max or something like that. Because of like how everyone is like I think Dell did it now, where you can get the Dell Pro and then like the Dell Pro Ultra or something. It's like super dumb. But yeah, Switch 2 probably is the safest bet. It looks pretty sleek. Oh wait, I should play the clap sound maybe. Ah, you heard the clap. Do you have the specs on Switch 2? I don't think we have much yet. Or maybe from like leaks. Okay, the full specs have been leaked. I don't know if these leaks are true. Yeah, this was published today. CPU, GPU, and memory. 8-core, like still an ARM-based CPU. Still like, oh, it has 2 RTX ray tracing cores, 12 gigs DDR5. Yeah, and then CPU, GPU frequency. Huh. Memory frequency changes depending on power modes. Or like comparison. It has upgrades definitely, but it's like we can't quantify like exactly what this is gonna do, because on top of that, like, you know, the Switch operating system takes up resources as well and all of that. So T239 comes from car onboard computer range. Yep. Look here. I'm pretty confident we can get the Unicycle Pizza Time as well to run on Steam, because like when we looked at Steam Deck, you can like hardware throttle, and like by default Steam Deck you can run 15 FPS. We get like 15 watts of CPU power, 170 FPS. If we like cut it down to 3 watts, we still hit the 45 range mark, which I don't know if Switch 2 is going to, because that's also a thing, like QA will validate that your game runs at high enough FPS, right? And I think that Switch 2 would still be like handheld mode 30 FPS is fine probably. I would want to aim for handheld mode 60 FPS though, if it's possible, because it's just better. Because at the end of the day, Unicycle Pizza Time, it's not the hardest to run game normally. Yeah, if they mainly play Nintendo titles, that's the thing as well. It's like, yeah, you have Witcher 3 on Switch, but I think like those are games that honestly shouldn't have come out. If they have like we have the video to have like an easy image as well. It's like if you compare these two, graphic it's like, yeah. Do you really want to play The Witcher 3 like this? Yeah, even put Hogwarts Legacy on it as well. Oh my god, like, if you look at this, like, this is very pretty. And then this suddenly, it's like, 30 FPS. I don't know. So this is what I want to avoid. I would rather just not release on Switch 1 then, if Unicycle Pizza Time would look like that, is what it comes down to. My guess is, did they have CP, like, switch to display resolution? I would guess they would go for like 1280 by 800, probably. I don't think they'll go 1080p handheld. It's, does it have? Is it gonna have a 1080p screen? I don't know what is confirmed and what isn't. Dimensions. Screen size. .4-inch display. Questionable. Yeah, we don't know the exact resolution, I think. But my guess would be like 1080p. I feel like 1080p isn't needed at the end of the day for handheld, especially if they keep it pretty low. What was Switch 1? 720p? Nintendo Switch. I think they increased it for the OLED. Oh, it's 720p. Yeah. Is it the same for the OLED? Yeah, it's just a bigger screen, but still 720p. It'll be higher, maybe, but I don't think it will be massive. I don't think it needs to be massive either, because it's just going to be needless battery hogs, I think. I think the Steam Deck, for example, is perfectly fine at 1280 by 800. Anything else, guys? Any other drama to talk about? These are the main topics I had, I think. Yeah, so now we're in the what is the after party section of the bite stream. This is not a bite stream, but I kind of just wanted to. We had another live stream planned, Thomas and I, today, but it kind of fell through. Switch to Max Pro Epic, yeah. The idea for the stream didn't really work out. Like, we didn't have enough content, so we're like, yeah, whatever. Oh, Hyperlight! I didn't talk about Hyperlight Drifter. Oh my god. Yeah, so Hyperlight Drifter, amazing game, right? Oh, look at this, 13,000 reviews. They went, yeah, I didn't talk about it. They went early access yesterday. I think it was yesterday. With Hyperlight Breaker. I don't know why it always includes two. Oh, can you only get it as a bundle? You can't buy the base game even. You only can buy it. I mean, you would get a discount if you already have the main game, I guess, then. They did not mention pricing on Switch 2. I think that's going to take a while still before we know it. The problem is they're currently at 56%. Yesterday when I looked, they were at 51% positive for the game. I'll be honest. It's not included for free. You just pay for both. And I don't have Hyperlight Drifter, so I don't get it. Is what it comes down to. I guess the idea is like, oh, only people who played Hyperlight Drifter should buy this game right now, because then, like, you get, what is it, like a 15 euro discount at the end of the day if you already own the game? Yeah. Huh, would that mean that Hyperlight Breaker is going to be priced individually at 13 euros? That seems low. View info. Or it's not available. No, I think Hyperlight Breaker is actually priced $28.99 and you get Hyperlight Drifter for free, unfortunately. So it's not about that. I think this is just you get it for free extra. I think if you already have it, you don't get a discount. If someone has Hyperlight Drifter, I played it on Switch. If someone has it on Steam, you can check and validate. I think, yeah. So, game went in early access today. I don't think you can call it indie, because like I think they also don't want to call it indie because it's like it's 30 euros. Why would they do this? Is this what the reviews are thinking? No, reviews are completely unrelated to that. What are the big issues right now? Actually, I can use my cool sites. You want to know what the general consensus is? Let's take a look. This is a site I know not this time. I'm gonna put a video about it at some point. I would say it's triple indie, double A. Yeah, I think it's kind of the similar thing. Double A I consider more as like working with like established franchises that are like you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or like Stalker, whatever. Biggest issues right now, and this is the one that I saw as well the most in things, is that the game is just super like hard to play. Like very the new player experience is really bad, basically really hard to learn, not clear what you're supposed to do and all of that. And that is the thing that people don't like. You pay 30 bucks for it and it feels unfinished. So like, what do they have? Yeah. Play a game for 10 hours before you start enjoying it. Pre-alpha, combat is clunky. I do wonder how the early access is too early, basically. 3D sells way better. This was actually something that I talked about when they first announced like the visuals for Hyper Light Breaker. I think this game looks worse than Hyper Light Drifter by far. I feel like this visual style, it looks almost generic. This looks like generic. Okay, this is maybe something that not everyone understands, but there's this category of indie studios that go to events like DevCon and Gamescom, and they go and have talks about their culture and values and mission and whatever, and inclusive hiring, and they have funding somehow. Usually they're like AAA developers and whatever that like started indie, and then they have not like a publisher, but they have like investment and whatever, and they have like a runway, and it's like, okay, we're gonna make a game, and it looks exactly like this. These graphics look okay, I guess, if you want, but it doesn't look like what made Hyper Light Drifter. There is only one game that looks like this, and that's Hyper Light Drifter, and that was their entire thing, I think. Yeah, it's like Breath of the Wild like. Also, this screenshots, this one looks like, I feel like if I made this, like, this is just split, like, look at the hex codes, it's just black. I feel like this is not supposed to be this dark. Like, this is super contrasty. It doesn't have the mystique. You're better at saying things than I say, like Revolver. It's like, there's a bunch of other forgettable indie games that look exactly like this, is kind of what I'm going for. And it's like, if this wasn't Hyper Light, if this didn't have Hyper Light to it, I think the style would have been fine. But it's like, you're going from this, which was so distinguishing in all of that, and then you go to more generic style game. Okay, the more like this isn't really, because it's like, oh, I can actually just look. Winds. Hold on, because I was looking at a bunch of other action roguelike games earlier. Windblown. This is okay. This is kind of different. This is not exactly what I mean, but it's like, you know, it's 3D, but it's not like super amazing and whatever. Yeah, it's generic, and that is, I think, the biggest thing. I think another game that really struggled with this is Wizard of Legend, and then Wizard of Legend 2. I love the shit out of this game. Really nice pixel art style, really good flow, really nice everything. And then they made the sequel, and it's like, yeah, it looks cool, but it doesn't look special, I think. And this is me not talking as a game developer. This is me talking as a gamer. These are games that I enjoy. These are games that I like. And it's like, these things don't really... Like, if I look at it, it's like, yeah, sure, it's pretty, but it loses what I liked about the original. And I think that is more of the important thing here. It's like, if this game was the first Wizard of Legend, it would probably have done okay. I mean, this one also didn't do great. Looks more mobile. May also just be like the top-down, you know, action roguelite style that does part of that as well. Hold on, I have some other games I think that kind of had this style. Let me take a look at like my B-roll footage. Action roguelite. Was it this one? Okay, this is also more top-down, but it's like Raven's Watch versus Wizard of Legend 2. And it's like, neither of these games, like this is Wizard of Legends, this is Raven's Watch. It almost feels like the same game. With like how, I think 3D is easier to make it look samey. Yeah, you played Wizard of Legend first and you think 3D looks better. I think, yeah, it still is like 3D looks better because you didn't know what you like came from. I think it's like if Hollow Knight now suddenly was 3D, I think a lot of people would also kind of be like, about it, basically. And this is what I mean when this is more of the generic style that I also feel, but then this is third person, of course, with Hyper Light Breaker. And this is, I think, this is my personal thing. I never even considered, honestly, after the first, like, I think last year gameplay footage covered, this was not a game that appealed to me anymore because it lost everything that I felt like Hyper Light Drifter did well. But it's like, you can go the 2D to 3D way correct as well. If you look at like Risk of Rain and then Risk of Rain 2. Regular Risk of Rain, I guess. Where here, once again, I mean, this was released in 2013, so standards were lower back then. But like, you know, 2D side-scroller. And then, I guess Risk of Rain Returns is like the more modern version. And then you go to 3D, and then it's like... It looks different still. Visuals aren't the issue with the reviews, Kex. I think visuals are the issue, though, with people not being interested in it. And yeah, the balance as well. And it's like, people don't like it. Yeah, graphics are comparable. No graphic settings are to be found. I guess it's still something with visuals. Yeah, as well. It's like, how many people didn't buy the game like me because of the visuals as well? One wasn't a major art. Yeah, indeed, as well. You probably, yeah, do want graphic settings. All in all, I have no faith in this become better, as none of the other games in the live service model or received a ton of updates. It's like, at the end of the day, people do still like it. It's easy to focus on all of the negatives. But yeah. This means that if you have millions of dollars and a big-ass studio, Heart Machine doesn't guarantee you get good games. Team. How many people? 4? Like, is this... Jesus Christ, it keeps going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 4, Jesus Christ. 58 people worked on this game. And it's like... 58 people for this? Oh, not this. This? It's his early access. I stand corrected. This is now AAA. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the original Heart Machine, like, I think Hyper Light Drifter Kickstarter, I think they mentioned it on their Kickstarter. It was like a few people, if I remember correctly. But they have grown so far out of that by now. Do they have? Normally you have like a thing of like a team. Here, who's who? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hyper Light Drifter was made with 5 people. And then now we're at 68. And based in LA. And it's like, what are they doing? They're going to conferences like DEF CON to talk about how they are making their studio a better place to work. But they're losing what makes a good studio, I think. Or like that the fact that a studio should still make good games. Steam growth is neat, yeah. But like going over 10x, and yeah. The thing is, I don't know if like all 58 people are like full-time and whatever, and how much they have freelancers and whatever. Right? Apple Breaker credits. Probably can we see in here like how big is the credits list? There's no credit information yet. Is still Kickstarter valid these days? No, I don't think it is really. It's really hard now. The thing is, once again, patreon.com/bitemegames. Kickstarter is valid. Game needs to be mainly finished. Oh, I talked about it in a main channel video. Did y'all not watch this? You do the Kickstarter when the game is almost done, and the amount of money you can ask for is also a lot lower. Like here, wait, where is it? 5 minutes and 9 seconds in this video, I talk about it as well. Because a lot of Kickstarters, spilled Kickstarter, Tethergeist, Kickstarter. So this is, I think this was 30K. I think this was like 18 or something, 20K, yeah. Like, it's like, you get decent money. 30K for a solo dev, that's like respectable with some contractors. 20K for a 3-man studio, it's like, it's not actually enough to finish the game. Nowhere near, I think. And there's other games as well. I have a video on Patreon where I kind of look at a bunch of Kickstarters and talk about like what they did good, what they did bad, and all of them had this. Taking a look. I think it was called Kickstarters. Yeah, here, breaking down some recent Kickstarters. This is a video I did where I look at like some of the games. I forgot the game that. Where, which game? Oh, Layers Deep, I think, was the other one as well. Layers Deep Kickstarter. Yeah, and it's like you made. Okay, this one was 50K. Never mind. But like some of these make like 15. People ask like 15K, 10K, whatever, and it's not enough really to finish it. But then suddenly they're stuck with, oh, we actually have to make this game now and things like that. Yeah, now it's like a pre-order site. Like you even have publishers. Oh, Stray Fawn did this. Yeah, Stray Fawn Kickstarter. So there's this publisher here. Oh, they also did Wandering Village. This is a publisher, and they just start by asking 20K on Kickstarter. And it's like, where has publishing come to? It's just marketing at this point. And keep in mind that from these 20K, they spend a lot on like advertising as well. Like they upfront things with BackerCamp, they do Google ads and all of that. The low amount is indeed a thing, but it's a gamble. Because you want to have that thing indeed I talk about in the Patreon of, you can do, maybe one of these did it. No, maybe Spill did it. Yeah, then you can write this, like fully funded in 12 hours. And that's also where you get press articles writing about you. That's when IGN makes those articles of like, this new cozy 2D platformer, whatever, just smashed its Kickstarter goal in less than 3 hours. The problem is it's super risky, of course, because if you actually need 50K, but you're only asking for 10K, it's not good. Can Kickstarter work to market your game? I really don't think you should try marketing the game, because Kickstarter is also very high risk if you get funded. There's a lot of games as well that can look good. There's this YouTuber. Oh, cool. There's this YouTuber, Sondering Emily. And she made a video earlier today. Can I look up Golden? I think it was called Golden Linings. No. Let me look this up quickly. Here. She worked on like a game, and they did a Kickstarter, and it looked really solid. This was the game at least. Oh, Gold Linings. but they didn't get it. Normally you should be able to still see it if it went on Kickstarter, whatever. Kickstarter campaign failed, so they ended up having to scrap the game. And it's like, they had pretty decent funding, they had pretty decent art style and things like that. There was a team working on this, but it wasn't enough because also, yeah, 2D platform and whatever. It's a ton of work at the end of the day. You need to bring the audience as well before Kickstarter gives you audience. There's like some stats on it where like, I think especially in the beginning, you need to bring like 80% of the audience yourself as well. Yeah, 80%, 25%, something indeed like that, Jonathan, is what matches with what I've talked about as well. There's this other YouTuber, Advanced 9. He made a really good video if you want to dive more into the numbers for Nightstones, where he also talked about like, hey, he think he spent 3,000 in advance on advertising. Yeah, here. I even had it. Was it the highlights? What's the highlights? The highlight is all the way at the end. I don't think that's what we want. You're 80k. Yeah. I think it gets worse and worse with the years. Come on. Quality YouTube. Yeah, here. So it's like, okay, he earned 36k, and then 2,700 was just the cut to Kickstarter, and he spent 8k in ads in advance. Like, this is a risk that a lot of indies, I think, also just can't take. Of like, you throw in 8k in ads and everything directly to your Kickstarter page so that people hopefully back. But you have to front that 8k. And if you fail the Kickstarter, well, you're not getting money either. And it's like, it goes out of that 36k at the end of the day. So, and this is something that especially recently you need to do a lot more, I think. Yeah, mine was in 2020, right when the pandemic was starting with the beginning boom. Yeah, things change, and yeah, what was the other one? Stormgate? Sorry, like, you're not a Stormgate at the end of the day. Like, yeah, they still made a lot of money, like 2.3 million, but a lot of games don't get anywhere close to that. So I wouldn't bank too much on getting a Kickstarter. How did we even get here? We were talking about Hyper Light Drifter, I think, and then the fact that their team massively increased in size. Yeah, that's it. Hyper Light Breaker. I keep calling it Hyper Light Breaker. Yeah, Stormgate has issues as well. Did you know I have a video where I talk about... I talked with the lead dev. There should be a full video as well. I enjoy the wandering banter a lot. I mean, that's what these streams are at the end of here. This is a full one. And then... yeah, Tim Morton. This was so awkward. I didn't know him at all. At all. I had no clue who he was. That like he had like a super in-depth like experience at Blizzard and whatever. I was reading yeah, if you can't put from the minds of Warcraft 3 developers. I was reading the book about like Blizzard that came out last year. What's it called? Jason Schreier. Blizzards. Like Play Nice or whatever. Like talking about all of Blizzard. And there was like 4 pages just about this guy. And I was like, oh, I talked to him. Now I know him. Back then, I had no clue who he was. I really couldn't care. Honestly, like, I just needed to grind the however many interviews, basically, that I needed to have for these videos. Yeah, Play Nice was indeed the name, Spellbinding Games. 50 pages, good or bad? Huh? No, like 4 pages. The book generally is really good, though. I really enjoyed it. If you feel like indie development sucks, read this book and you will love indie development. You will be like, oh my god, indie development is amazing. At least I'm not working at Blizzard. That's all I can say. The thing is, can they No Man's Sky this? Damn, No Man's Sky is $60 at this point. They went to very positive, I think, like a few months ago, from overwhelmingly negative, I think. The thing is, if you already have 1.5k, like getting Hyperlight Breaker to become positive, or like even mostly positive, is hard. Because now they need a lot of reviews already if they want to offset it. And a lot of people will look at this and they'll see mixed and they'll be like, actually, no, I'm going to skip on this one. So, yeah. I guess one day we'll figure out if we'll see if a heart machine is added to the list of like game layoffs as well. What do you think about indie games with nostalgic graphics? Oh, you mean the PSX style, right? I did Game of It Union 2000. Went to default. Full to pick players. Yeah. Yeah, if I see mixed, I definitely second guess buying. We saw this well with Forge Industry. Like, Forge Industry was getting decent reviews until we reached, like, mixed. And then it flat out. And it's like, I can't blame him. Like, the game is probably sitting at a fair thing. But we could definitely notice in, like, our sales, whilst it was still at like mostly positive and it was still blue, there was a much higher amount of people, I think, from like who saw it in discovery queue to conversion basically, versus once the mixed game and the orange text and especially low review amount can absolutely kill your game, I think. So recovering from that, like for us, it takes 2 good reviews and we would be back to mostly positive. For Hyperlight Breaker, they need like what, 1,000 okay, maybe not 1,000 positive reviews. They need a lot more positive reviews if they want to go back to the mostly positive thing even. Yeah, it's like on dropshipping platforms, eBay, Amazon, whatever. It's the only thing people look at. They don't read the description. They just like look up the name. They look, is the rating like 4.4 or higher or whatever, and they're like, sure, I'll get it. I have not played Signalis, but they did really good for a 2-man team. What? Oh, the what designs? I don't know. I generally don't watch devlog YouTubers. Like, I'm gonna expose. So this channel, these subscriptions, these are the YouTubers I actually care about. Can I see all the subscriptions? Like a Thomas Brush, How to Market the Game, a Code Monkey, Cam Stoker. Like, these are generally not devlog YouTubers, most of them. These are YouTubers that talk more about stuff that actually matters to me. And it's like, what designs, I think it is. I think what he makes doesn't really apply much to what we would make. Is this his recent devlog that you're talking about? It's not really recent. Also, he has a game dev degree sponsorship. Oh, well, whatever. And it's like, this is purely devlog content. There is nothing I can like really learn from this. Whatever. Yeah, I can learn from it, but it's like, I don't see this as a close colleague / competitor, so I'm not subscribed to them because I don't need to know what they're doing. They can live happily in their own bubble. Whereas I do want to know, what is the stuff Thomas Brush is talking about? What is his recent meta, whatever. Also, I should do a fishing dev stream at some point as well. I saw this and I was like, this is beautiful, David Vela. First dev stream he does, and he just adds fishing. So yeah. Yeah, this is why I think could develop. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to UX shit as well, Michael. Gotcha. I have definitely looked at you, but I also never felt like there was like a crazy amount of stuff that like I could learn from this. Because like, once again, it was mostly devlogs and older stuff and things like that as well. So yeah. Hey, space whales are a thing, Volcanic. Space whales are a thing. Thomas Brush is great, but he's always telling too much. Yeah, but he lives better than me. I can tell you that. It works. Buy my Patreon, please, guys. Thank you very much. I'll give you a shout out. I'll play your game. I don't know. Space Whale Hunt DLC upcoming. Yeah, his new content is honestly great. I don't have the time. I have the time. I don't have the... A lot of the stuff at the end of the day that he talks about, Thomas Brush, it's good. But it's... I'm not supposed to be. I'm not brand new to this anymore. So it's like, for example, when he did the interview with like Thomas Sala, I have spent a lot of time with Thomas Sala as well, talking and things like that. So it's like, not everything here I can still learn. I do like the clips. The clips give me an idea of what Thomas Brush thinks right now is like the most important message. So you can see like 12K, 19K, 35K. Like, what are people looking at more? Like, how to make games look good? Like, feel good? Absolutely not. That's not what developers look into, because it gets no views. Whereas what they want to know is advice for starting or solo game dev. It's way more important, like how to make solo games versus actually finishing games. Because this is kind of how I, inside scoop or whatever, like how I do the market research. I take a look at what other YouTubers are talking about, what are sentiments that they're talking about, like making small games, 72K views, because small games very much is the current game dev meta. And I'm planning a bunch of videos on that as well, because I think there's some updates as well. So yeah, because it's like, yeah, nobody cares, or not nobody cares, but not that many people care, for example, about making 3D games versus getting started and all of that. Like, people care more about isometric games, apparently, who watch Thomas Brush and things like that. Can't tell if I get all of them. Your YouTube is playing up, I think, spellbinding. When do you do? I'm not gonna do gym streams because I don't want to be a gym influencer. That's not happening, ever. Will I consider it at some points? But it's like, it's just so cringe. It is so cringe. I'm not going to go in with my big ass camera and be like, hey, look at my strong ass biceps. Yeah, I can curl weights. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. Like, I would have rather do the Minecraft stream at that point. But I also don't want to do the Minecraft. GMTK, did I tell you? Because this is the thing, like, I probably said these things on like previous streams, previous videos, but I don't know how many of you actually still like watch this. You want to see the most awkward selfie ever taken? Here we go. This is me with Mark Brown. I didn't recognize him. He recognized me. I felt so bad once I realized who he was. I do, in my defense, I was at this point, I was planning on meeting up with another guy at Develop Brighton. And he kind of looked similar, not fully. But I was like thinking of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look for this guy. And then suddenly there's this guy and he looks at me and he waves. And remember, this is one of the first times that I went outside Develop Brighton in like more than a year to a game dev conference. So I'm not used to this, like people recognizing me. And I'm like, oh, you're Rob. I was gonna meet you. And and it was like, he looked so stunned and shocked and confused. And then I looked at his name tag and I was like, oh, fuck, you're Mark Brown. Yeah. So yeah, this is, I'm sorry, Mark, that I'm showing this part on stream. But I definitely learned, like, for Gamescom then and DevCom, I was prepared to be recognized, but I wasn't really. This was day one of DevCom. No, not DevCom, Develop Brighton. I was like, nobody cares who I am. But turns out that we have a pretty big audience. What'd he do? What did who do? Who do what? I don't know. Did we meet each other, Tommy Tombo? Guys, please write cohesive sentences and not just, what did he do? Game. What does game mean, Black Moon? We're not doing Minecraft Tuesdays again. We're probably not gonna do gaming streams either anymore. It was kind of an experiment as well. The thing is, I personally don't think it really fits the style of content. Becat me. Yeah. Damn. Y'all really aren't liking this stream either, apparently. But like the previous game stream, definitely, it's not what our core audience wants and things like that. Yeah, the Magnet game, it is like Mind Over Magnet. It performed well, but it's like, it's something that yeah. Oh, it's almost at 1,000 reviews. It's very good performance for a platformer, I think. And it's like for game design, fine, but for like actual, I'm gonna make a game and I'm gonna make money for it. Like it's not something you can really follow. Yeah, we met outside of one of the talks. I was confused because your tag said YouTube. Yeah, wait, do I have a picture of my tag? Because I was like, I'm from press. It was honestly great. Brighton and Hove. Do I have Brighton here? I think I have a picture of my badge. Yeah. So this was my badge at Brighton. And it just said press from YouTube. People, like, everyone wanted to talk to me. Because they were like, you work at YouTube and you're press tickets? I just took it. Because I was like, yeah, if this said Bite Me Games, it's like more generic. It's like, who cares? But if it says YouTube, I didn't ask for YouTube. I just asked for a press ticket. And they gave me this that said YouTube in my defense as well. Because like other places, they had like listed... Wait, is Marnix a real name? It is my real name. Next time at an event, I'm putting Valve on my ticket. Honestly, I think you can do that if you really wanted to. And like, I got like invited. There was a VIP dinner at... I don't know. I think I can show these. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I can just show the entire Brighton and Hove. I think it should be fine. There was like this exclusive dinner. I was sitting next to like the head of indies for PlayStation. They had such great food. Wow, this is... I was too awkward to take video. They had like really good free food and like brownies and everything. I think this is... No, this isn't him. It was really nice. I got like the secret life hack, I think. They had like... Because they had two places. They also had a regular lunch the other days. And it was fine. It was meh, I guess. This one was like... Pulled out all the stops. I talked to Unity execs. I talked to Sony execs. I talked to the head of like Eurogamer, I think. The Future Game Show. So yeah. I met some viewers here. It was definitely kind of nice. And then yeah, Gamescom, DevCom. It was really funny when I went to DevCom. I was supposed to meet up with this one random person. And we were supposed to meet up at like 4, let's say. Let me pull up my... Do I have any pictures of Gamescom? Or like Cologne to pull up. Cologne? Yeah, I have to write it in Dutch. And we were supposed to meet up at like 4 p.m. or something. At the talk. And I go to some other talk at like 2. And the person just sat randomly next to me. I was like, oh, is this place free? And then like my brain clicked off like, wait, I recognize this person from the picture earlier. And it was like, hey, you're Marnix, right? And yeah, can I sit here? Like, yeah, absolutely. So that's when we like... This is the talks I was talking about earlier, like the Heart Machine, where you have these studios, they go to DevCom. This was the most disappointing talk of my life, where they just talked about like their like, hiring practices or something. It didn't really matter. I go to these events for this stuff. The indies winning awards and like cool stuff. I think that's way cooler at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm going back to Gamescom, DevCom probably as well. Develop Brighton I will not be going to. I can just close this because I'm not gonna be in the UK then. Otherwise I would maybe go. I don't know. Brighton was kind of like... Brighton is kind of a shit place. I'm sorry, UK people. And it's so fucking expensive in the UK. It's disgusting. It's crazy. And I was like sick the entire time. It was solo. It was miserable. I don't want to do it again. It's like a pretty good event, but it's not giant. So yeah, it's okay. We know. Yeah. Because also like the way for me to go to Brighton... It's like so sad. So Brighton is like here somewhere, right? Yeah, Brighton is here. Let me draw my travel route. It was miserable as well. So we have my Google Maps here. I'm just going to take a screenshot. So I live here. And we need to go to like here, right? Like this direction. Problem is there is C in the middle. So I have to go from here to Brussels, get on a train to London. This train was like 250 pounds. And then I had to pay another 30 pounds one way to go to Brighton. This took me like 5 hours. I could literally see Brighton on a sunny day if I wanted to. But like driving there also was just as miserable. And then I stayed at a shitty overpriced hotel that was like the entire house was so old that it just like went like on the wrong way. There's no boat. There is from like the boat, but the boat is only for cars. And I considered taking it. Same with like the Eurotunnel. There's like here, this point. I'm gonna take another color. I considered like taking it because then I would only have to do like this. Would have been much shorter, would have been much more comfortable as well because I have my car then. But parking in Brighton also really isn't something that you can do. And I was just like, whatever. We had a sponsor. I wouldn't go if we didn't have a sponsor again. So yeah. Marnix gets a glimmer of how bad the UK actually is. I fucking love meal deals though. What's the name? I forgot. There's this UK grocery stores. Sainsbury's. I love the Sainsbury's meal deals. That's the only redemption. I didn't like the Tesco ones. Sainsbury's, I think, were the best ones. Maybe that's an L take. It was great value, the Sainsbury's meal deals. I basically ate them every day. I had my lunch at Develop Brighton. Then at like 5, I went to the hotel room. I dropped my stuff. I got myself a... Ooh, I feel like every UK viewer is now very offended. I went to Tesco's as well, but it just wasn't as good, I feel. I don't know. I was kind of disappointed by it. I think because the Sainsbury's, they have like these wraps, the hoisin sauce wraps or something. Crack cocaine. It's my kryptonite. I ate so many of them. And you get like the muesli bar, because that was my breakfast then for the next morning. So, yeah. Was it? No, it wasn't a Tesco Express, I think. I don't know, honestly. I'm not going back anytime soon to the UK. I'm very sorry. Unless someone invites me over and I have a sponsor and everything, I'm gonna stay away from the UK for a while. Because the thing is, I knew the meal deals from Tesco's. I didn't even know it was a thing outside of Tesco's. Like, Tesco's is the best branding. But then another time I went to the UK just for travel. And there was like some, I forgot the name, Boots. I went to a Boots because I needed like something. And then I learned that they also have meal deals. And I was like, huh, I guess meal deal isn't just only for Tesco. And then I looked at the other stuff as well. Writing a complaint to Tesco or scaring away Belgian temps. They definitely didn't scare me away. Because they're the reason I tried the meal deals. Hi, Sinus Kista. I'm doing well as well. Finally, someone in Twitch chat as well again. What has the stream become? Okay. Awkward encounters later. I remember what I want to say. I'm gonna give you a channel recommendation. So people watch GMTK for learning about game design, right? Meal deal stream, that's gonna unfortunately not happen anytime soon. Like, he makes a lot of videos about game design and good things about it. And I think he wanted to make a game to kind of solidify, hey, I can make games, which is fair. I think what I really like about this other game design focused channel, Indie Game Clinic, that's kind of been popping off lately, is that he doesn't try to make a game. He doesn't try to sell you a course. He doesn't even try to get you to wishlist anything. He just wants to talk about game design because he has a main job. And it's something that is pretty noble. It definitely does work, I think, as well. If you don't have to like sustain yourself from actually selling games and whatever. Because it's like, you don't have to prove yourself. I don't know if it's... yeah, he's definitely been on his rise and grind set recently. I think there is a high overlap, I would say, as well, between Bite Me Games viewers and Indie Game Clinic viewers of the stuff he talks about. Some of his videos are pretty good. Some of them I feel are kind of misses sometimes, or it's not exactly what I'm looking for. But he's definitely like still in that early stage, I think, where like his channel is only now really picking up. Or like, I don't know if it's only now been picking up. Oh, I didn't find him when he had 2. I think he had like 3K subs when I found him. But I really vibe with it. What's the graph? Give me the graph. Oh, last year. Like, yeah. Subscribers. Like, he definitely has had some really good growth recently. What's the max? He started in July, yeah. Actually pretty consistent growth. I expected it to be more like a spike around 3K, but I guess not. So enjoy it while it rides, because unfortunately these things never last. Have you seen the game Drova yet? 4 guys from Germany did this, an open world pixel art RPG. It was their first game and quite a success. I have not seen Drova. Drova these nuts? Am I right? I don't know. Oh wait, I have seen this. I've seen the capsule. I haven't seen the rest. This looks like a fucking lot of work. I can tell you that much. But hey, it paid off in their case. He's appealing to mainstream gamers. I guess you mean GMTK, whereas Indie Game Clinic is more for the base devs as well. I don't know. I don't know if I'm appealing to the base devs, nor how I should feel about the fact that I appeal to the base devs. But yeah. Was there something? I wanted to go somewhere else with this, I feel. I think I like the fact that it's like, hey, look, take or leave my game design thing. I don't need to make a game to prove it. Kind of. And I think that's noble, and that's honestly the better way if you can do it. Because if he were to make an actual game, I think it would be miserable, because every single small mistake would get so criticized and so much heard of it. Take a look at this. I do like it. Wait, let me find you a video that I recommend, that I enjoyed. I really enjoyed these 2 Vampire Survivors videos. I think these were some, like, these really clearly explained to me game design, I think, for that specific genre. These were 2 games. I sent them to Thomas as well. I really enjoyed them. Yeah, I think I didn't really watch much before them. But he basically plays also like viewer videos and all of that. Viewer games, sorry. His sound, whatever. The horror games one was good as well. The thing is, he has no proven track record. That's wrong. Because he's a university teacher for game design. He just hasn't released a game. He's worked as a consultant on mobile games and other games and all of that. And it's not like he's just like me. If I were to start now and not have any games released and be like, oh, this is game design, it's different. He's just getting started with game design on YouTube, but it's not like he's never done game design before, I think. My OBS is disconnected. Is it? Oh, I can literally see. Okay, it says it's back. I have no idea what happened. It's back. He's worked on ship AAA, I think, as well. I don't know. Hey, look, don't ask me. I think that the stuff he says is good. Keep it at that. Just a bit of a stutter. Perfect. Twitch is fine. Twitch is all that matters. Yeah. So I think be constructive criticism is good. Jesus Christ, why is Skyrim €4? How do you compete with this? Yeah, sometimes you can be a real teacher, like a great teacher without real world experience, like Bill Nye. Indeed. Or like Hank Green. He's like, this is not game design. He brings science to like more people, raise awareness and all of that. I think that's important as well. I already have Skyrim, just not the special edition. But I feel like I don't need the special edition. I have the regular Skyrim, but they listed it probably. Yeah, as someone went to school for game art. Yeah, for software dev, it was all right, definitely. Like computer science that I studied, I never felt like, oh, these guys have no idea what they're teaching me. They were just sometimes lazy. I think that was a bigger issue that I had. The most reputable instructor works on a Barbie game. Yeah. Unfortunately, not everyone can work on Hyperlight. Would you prefer to have someone who works on Hyperlight Breaker? I don't know either. Twitch is better than the other platform. Don't want to be special Dovahkiin? I don't know. I just have like a shit ton of mods. Oh, this is so sad. I wanted to play Skyrim like 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't had time for it. No, I'm not doing a Skyrim game stream. I don't want to do that. But like, it's like I need to set up the mods again because I want like the UI. I need to make sure that there's ultra-wide support and all of that. What did you think of Hyperlight Breaker? Just go back like I think half an hour or something. Skyrim in VR, I'm not checking it out in Skyrim VR. Thomas played through all of Skyrim in VR though. He's a Skyrim crazy like nut. We're not doing Minecraft Mondays either. Yeah, those people aren't teaching universities because they're making games. That's the thing. Like, my dad is a university teacher. And sometimes I'm not sure if he's a good teacher. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Because he like worked at like, so he's not in game dev, of course. He's an electronics teacher. And he did the like infrastructure and like repairs. He worked for like years first as a hospital repair tech. That's how he started. And then he became like head of procurement and like setup of the like Belgian National Broadcasting Company. And then also like super in-depth technological stuff. And he did like the live streams of like the Tour de France and things like that. And it's like, yeah, he understands how it works. And now he's kind of just like, I don't want to work 5 days a week anymore. He works, I think as a university teacher, you have to work 24 hours a week or something. So sometimes he just has to go to like school 2-3 days a week for like half a day every time and teach his class, and that's it. And then some period he has like 4 or 5 days of work and he's just chilling kinda. So yeah. Thomas looks like he belongs in Skyrim. Beautiful. Skyrim with ChatGPT, no. So I haven't played Balatro. It doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry. I know everyone is like, oh, Balatro is amazing. But it's like, it's not a... The only reason I would play it would be like, oh, because other people say it's good. But it's like, I don't really feel like interested in this. So yeah. And also, it's like, on the other hand, also like, what if it's good? And I get addicted, like everyone says. I have videos to edit, I have games to make, I have live streams to do, I have so much more stuff to do. I'm not gonna just spend the entire night talking about, like, playing Balatro instead of doing anything else. I don't know if it's game. I think it doesn't. It does the. I think it does earn a Game of the Year title, definitely. I think I wouldn't hate on it for that. Vampire Survivors was way better. Yeah, so that's the thing indeed, Krialik. I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it. Right now, Bite Me Games cannot afford me like dropping out for this long if I actually end up playing this. Publisher plays Balatro pre-recorded. Ah, there's no face cam. I wish there was a face cam of the publisher. I met like one of the members from PlayStack at Gamescom as well. I think it's more poker just from the visuals, and that's it. All right, guys. I'm running out of stuff to talk about that's useful. Give me ideas, or I'm going to just do other stuff with my life. Talking about vampires, have you seen the Dawnwalker trailer? I have not. Oh, they don't even have a Steam page yet. Teaser trailer breakdown. I feel like this is not. I don't think this is a game we should look into. No, we're not doing Minecraft. What are you working on this week? So this week has been kind of a sad week. I don't know. What I've learned in December, basically. Okay. Oof, guys, I just got like 17 different topics. Hold on. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this so I can go through it all. Okay. Step 1. What are you working on this week? Oh. Perfect. Getting there. So I have to make videos as well. As we discussed earlier in the stream, I can't stop making videos because then there would be issues for Bite Me. Genuinely. Like, it would be a slow dance. Or like, it would be... I also don't want to stop it. But the problem is videos take time to make, right? And I also want to work on the games, especially since I've been more active with Overtime Anomaly and Magical Girl Guardians. I've started caring more about, hey, actually, I want to do stuff with games. And like actually in Unity and whatever. But I figured a solution. I stockpile videos. So last weekend, I recorded 11 videos. That's about 3 weeks, a little bit over 3 weeks of content. And then I just have this week is just crunk mode. And it's like 1 week, I tell the team in advance, I tell Thomas and I tell William, like, look, don't expect anything from me this week. I'm going to go into my cave and I'm going to edit the videos. And then in exchange, you get me 2 weeks full time, the 2 weeks afterwards. And then once again, I record a whole bunch of videos, usually not 11 often. I try to do like 2 weeks because it feels like a disconnect as well when there's like a video planned for a month in advance. And it's like, hey, my thoughts already changed and things like that. Or I don't feel like I'm happy with the content anymore. But that has done a lot for me in terms of actually being able to push features, to push content, and to do stuff. Because it's not like I spent 1 day then on a game, and then immediately it's like, oh fuck, I need to record another video, and then I need to edit. So instead I'm batching these things, and I've been doing that since early December, and I think it's been a great thing. The problem is that now, yeah, this is a week of just editing videos. So far I've done 6 videos, I think. So I've got the next 3 weeks of Patreon videos is nailed down. And then, yeah, of course, last week Tuesday's video, tomorrow's video, the video for next week Tuesday is completely done as well. And then I have some other bigger tier lists that I need to go through. But that's like this week. It's just that, basically. So I'm sorry it's not more interesting, but that was an answer. Do the snacks you eat while deving help enough to be noticeable? I don't eat snacks. I don't have money for snacks. It's time for Minecraft. No, it's not. What do you think of the increase of just general slop on Steam? At the end of the day, no snacks. It disappoints me, but I'm not too worried, but it disappoints me because I feel like I can sometimes be part of a problem. I don't know. I think that was another problem with the demo streams, is that I was kind of disappointed because I like talk so much about so many things I feel. And like you said, it's like I am repetitive. I say too much beginner stuff almost. But then I play the viewer demos and a lot of them are just bad. There's no other way to say it. At all. And I think that is kind of annoying, but it's like, I don't know if Steam needs to change much with like curation going back to Greenlight, because at this point everything is going to get like gambled anyway. Or like not gambled, but like gamed. Like you'll get someone who can just get you like a 10,000 Greenlight votes or whatever, and people get through it anyway. And it also doesn't solve the problem of all the games that are already out, because unlike like the Play Store and the iOS Store, they actually delete old games and like old apps and things like that. That doesn't happen on Steam. All the slop that has been released in the last 5 years is still gonna be there. I think right now I would put my most faith. I think increasing the store page fee also wouldn't do much. I think whether it's $100 or $500, And it's like, if you don't want to put it too high, because then you're like, then it's like bad vibes, because then a lot of people who are super talented, but who are maybe, you know, solo developers and doing it more for fun, but they still make good stuff. Like, if it was $500 or $1,000, games like Helltaker wouldn't exist. Games like Helltaker is just a guy who likes demon waifus and who learned game dev as a hobby and was like, I'm gonna make a free game and I'm gonna put it on Steam. And it's got 100,000. Yeah, Vampire Survivors may not exist. A lot of like other games from our community. It's like these things, these hobby projects that are genuinely good would not exist if you suddenly increase like the Steam fee to 500,000 viewers and dollars. And I don't think you should be like, oh, but what if it's a free game? Then it should only be 100. And what if it's like this? Like, I think it's still way easier because Steam isn't a giant company at the end of the day. I met the Steam team. It's 13 people. They can't curate that much and things like that. So I think that at that point it's better to have a fair, even price for everyone and let the algorithm. I think the algorithm is what drives so much at the end of the day. Algorithms are a super important part of our life with TikTok and all of that as well, and YouTube. And I think there, keep the price the same, but it's like you said, it's like in the how to market a game thing. 50% of the games don't have 10 reviews, and 50% of those games will never show up basically outside of like the developers linking it. Yo bro, David Lee, I'm good. So yeah. Retro store game simulators here as well. Yeah, I think it was like 13 people. That's also why, for example, a lot of people complained. Like when I went to the Valve like coffee hour thing at Gamescom, I talked to the actual developers, and they're really chill people and whatever. But it's like they're right now, a lot of Steam's effort is going into reworking Steam. And first because Steam was completely written in PHP. The problem is, well, PHP. Who the fuck wants to write PHP in 2025? So they're moving everything to React, and they first did the front page, and now they're also starting to work on like Steamworks itself. Like for example, let me pull it up. You can see these changes, but they go very slow because it's like they don't have giant like dev teams and all of that. It's just 3 guys who are like, yeah, I'll learn PHP and translate it to React. But that's how you get, like, for example, there was this recent change. If I pull up our store page for Overtime Anomaly, like this is old, and like, oh, this already has been improved a bit, I think. But like, for example, like this is how your description used to be, like this simple editor, and then they added a visual editor. It takes time to do these things, and if you're 13 people and you don't have a giant team who does everything for you, well, it's going to take time. They do their best, but it's like they don't want to become a super bloated and all of that. David Lee, did you just come here to advertise? Hold on, I need to ban someone. Bro, do you need NFT animation or thumbnail stuff? Can you give me a response? No. Go away. Won't they be in a PHP situation again soon? Maybe in a year. Or not in a year, like 5 years. I don't know. Ta-da. This is what happens when I have no mods. So, I don't think... I wouldn't worry about it if you're actually doing this commercially. I just wish that our audience made better games. Have you seen much about Planeten Verteidigungskanon Commandant? I have. I've spoken to the developers. I've done all of that. So yeah, covered this one as well. Can you explain what planetary processing does? Does it help enough to allow new developers to make multiplayer games? So what planetary processing does, it does the server hosting, it does the server meshing, it does the server instancing, it does the account management, it does inventory management to really easily integrate, like they're focused more on MMO and not like 1 to 4 player co-op games. Basically, is like large scale indie scale MMOs. The dev team once again is really nice. It's just like 3 gamers who wanted to make their own multiplayer games, realized it was hard, and like they had backgrounds in like systems engineering, so we're like, hey, we'll actually make this ourselves. There's a video I made with them where we explained it a bit better, because basically it's an easy way, and it's completely free as well, especially when getting started, to... Why is this thumbnail so horrible? Oh my god, Here, there's this video, making an MMO has become easy now, where I went to like their booth, talked with the actual founder. It's really nice and all of that. And they talk about everything basically that they do, why they do it, and how it works. So yeah, if you want to, and it's completely engine agnostic, or like not engine agnostic, but it's like they support Godot, Default, Love2D, I think, Unity, and Unreal. So yeah. Marnix, have you ever shot a gun? I have. I have a video. I've even used the video in a Bite Me Games video. It was in the US, because of course it was. It was in some town. See if I can find it. Flagstaff. Okay, let me look in Google Pictures for pictures in Flagstaff, Arizona. Okay, Google does not know Flagstaff. Okay, this is awkward. I have shotguns multiple times, at least. I've also done a bunch of airsoft with my boys, like the homies. I can't find the video anymore. I have shot a bunch of guns. I've also shot guns in Belgium. It's pretty hard to do here, but like I've done it like once or twice. Okay. I like the long rifle stuff. I haven't played airsoft in like a while though as well. So yeah. I love that the US is just no, but it's like if I'm in the US, I may as well just go and like, because it's so easy there. You just walk into the gun thing and it's like, hey, I want to shoot that one, and then you pay like, I don't know, $50 or something. I can't remember. And I did it. I don't like pistols, is what I've learned, because I think it's just dumb. But I like the long range stuff, because it's like it feels like you're actually like needing to do some skills for it or something. Yeah, I don't want to do the fire, like I don't want to do like the not Los Angeles, like San Francisco. No, fucking hell. Las Vegas, like things of like, oh yeah, you can shoot an RPG and a tank and whatever. I've only shot one gun one time as an American. We don't all run around shooting guns all day. Yeah. So yeah, this is not something we need to do. Do you think a turn-based tactic game can work in these days and age? I think it's hard to pull off. The only one I can think of is like Wizard with a gun. Speaking of guns, I would stay away from it if you can. Talk about successful big indies that made it and why you, the viewer, couldn't do it as a first game, even if it's their inspiration. Stardew Valley, Eric Barone had his girlfriend fund him for 7 years. Other one, what's it called? Dwarf Fortress. You wouldn't survive 12 years off no money. How's MGT progressing? It's going pretty good, I think. We're still working, like, stink shading is better. I'm still not 100% sure about it. We're adding, like, more of the game, so it feels like a game now as well. Like, it's way less staticky. We're right now running in a bit of a problem where both Unity Navmesh and A-Star are both beating our ass in, like, certain enemies just don't want to navigate correctly. So that was the next thing that Thomas, like, right now is grinding on normally. Instead of doing the stream. How do you feel about using SSL games? I think it's great. Why no turn-based tactic games? You just answered the question yourself. You spent last 3 years on it. We are not planning on reskinning Magical Girl Guardians into an adult game as an alternative. So I saw some more gun stuff. Sprinkle gunpowder on your food. We're not doing that. The thing is, I would love to make a boomer shooter. It's one of my favorite genres to make. Not to make, to play. It's like, if you're like Marnix, you need to play a game, it would be like a boomer shooter. That's the game that I'm most interested in. The thing is, I'm also talking about in the video tomorrow. These games, I can't justify how our studio financials and our runway and everything is like that. I can't justify making one because on paper, this game is so beautiful. By the way, I just want to show this Brazilian Duck Trailer 3. I opened the portal to hell in the favela trying to revive Mitaya. I need to close it. This is a pinnacle of a trailer. How can you not love this?
Aviãozinho do tráfico 3. Abriu portal pro inferno na favela tentando reviver Mitaya e preciso fechar.
I love this stuff. Also, Slayer's X is like another one. Here, Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath Vent Guns of the Slayer. Like, these are like... I love these games. But they're... It's like, it's linear level design. It's not time efficient. It's kind of hard to market these things. Like, there's this game, maybe the OG fans remember this, Tokyo Underground Killer. I went to their studio in Japan. I had a video with them. And they have a publisher. This is a team of ex-AAA developers, gone indie. I think 13 people working on it. And it's still so hard to pull off. And it is like, this is over a year in development. I think they're at like 7K wish lists. It's not a genre that's easy to stand out in it, because you're at the end of the day you're comparing with like a Sulaco or an Ion Fury, and those games are just, I can't make something better than this. There's no way. And I think, yeah, and then for all the intricate level design, like this game is made in GZ Doom, if I remember. Like this is made in the OG Doom engine. This is fucking black magic. So yeah, I'm not making a boomer shooter anytime soon. Is what it comes down to. Okay. Nice, we went through the entire list. Use assets. I think you really shouldn't worry about using assets. I think it's way better to use assets. Do boomer shooters have to have locked camera pitch? No, some of them you can still look up and down. Like here, you can look up and down still. It depends. It's like the OG Dooms you couldn't look up, but Quake, for example, already had full 3D movement. That was like one of the... Damn, Quake is still $10. Like this one did not have locked camera pitch either. Or like, for example, Phantom Fury. This was a game I really enjoyed as well. No, not Phantom Fury. Ion. No, Ion Fury, the good one. What was that one? These are like games I really like, but they require such deep knowledge of like level design and what makes the OGs. Like this is based on like a Quake clone. Dave Szymanski, he does really good stuff as well. I spoke to 3D Realms as well when they still existed. I think it was 3D Realms, yeah. What about a boomer shooter for Nintendo Switch audience? Some people, like kids, are starting for Call of Duty. Yeah, the kids start, that's the problem. Most of the kids starting to Call of Duty are just playing Warzone now, because it's free to play as well, even though it's like mostly negative. And I kind of miss the old school style, because I mean, you saw it on my profile. My most played game is Black Ops 2. I still play this game to this day. Like once a month at least, I boot it up still and I pwn some noobs. But there's just no new games that come to that feel, and it's not like something you can do. Also, it's a multiplayer game. You can't make new... like, these servers are really hard. Like, also, 2 days ago, yesterday, I still played Battlefield 4. The game still looks so fucking amazing. The game is more than 10 years old at this point. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Do you play COD Zombies? Yeah, COD Zombies was a bit of an inspiration almost for Magical Girl Guardians, for like the flow of the level was based on COD Zombies, of how it's not just, you know, most Vampire Surviving that. Most of them are just one big open space. And I don't want that because I think this is boring. I like how in Zombies you have the concept of training, where, I mean, it's like circle strafing in boomer shooters as well, where you have to actually move tactically around the map and use the environment to your advantage. You can't just stand still and have like everything like auto attack for you and like have to just walk and pick up the XP orbs. I don't miss the slurs though. The thing is, I played on PC. I always has been a PC gamer for COD. And PC just never had that same amount of voice comms as, like, because we could type, we could chat. You couldn't do that on, what is it? Like Xbox, PlayStation, because you had to do voice chat. So I never had that period in my life where it was just all of the Pack-a-Punch. We're not going to Pack-a-Punch at that, no. Like Black Ops 3, I basically only played... of course, back then I was still super hardcore in Call of Duty. I got Black Ops 3. But I didn't enjoy the multiplayer nearly as much. I mainly played Zombies for this game as well. I didn't know you have a Zombies to like... Oh, the season boss maybe? And then especially this game had... they had modding support, like I think 5 years ago or something, even more. So then I once again played a whole bunch of Zombies as well, just modded maps and things like that, but yeah. Make the boomer shooter adult game parody of Black Ops. Guess its name. It already exists. Ah. Oh. Let me find the tag. There's this game that released recently. Beyond Citadel, this one. This is the anime boomer shooter FPS game that you're looking for. Where you just have the little anime girl in the bottom, and then they have a prequel, The Citadel, as well. This is kind of close, I guess. Also, there was this other game. I have it here, Endless Alice. This released like yesterday, I think. This is basically third-person magical. This is what Magical Girl Guardians could have been if it was like a third-person FPS style game. I hope this is fine. Wait, I'll pull up a trailer so we can actually see gameplay. Shut up. This is like... Maybe this is what Magical Girl Guardians was supposed to be. Also, video compression is just destroying this. There is no way. I'm not even seeing anything. Okay, maybe this is better. It's like also choose your girl. This is basically also like Magical Girls. And then solo co-op, but it's instead of a survivor like top down, it's like more third person and all of that. Including some revealing clothing and poses. Oh, damn. They went super hard on their descriptions. Also, exactly 5.54 gigabytes available space needed. Windows 10 1901 requires launching with TX11. It will sacrifice performance. We are currently updating Windows 10 to a newer version, so you can lose TX. Jesus Christ. Definitely, like if you have a GTX 1060 running at 1080p, you can expect 70 FPS. This is super overkill, if you ask me. But hey, if you have the devices to test, you can do it. Yeah, I don't know. We're not gonna make a boomer shooter anytime soon. But yeah, I do like the meme games to a certain degree as well. But it's like hard. This is the game, by the way, that the developer is going to prison for. So this developer did some bad stuff in his previous, before he became a game dev. Wonder how much of the game, if this is based on true events. Should I joke about this? I don't know. So this game is never going to come out of early access, I can tell you that. Even if the updates are on hold now, yeah. Fortune's Run. So fortunate the dev ran into prison. So it's hope the dev gets back and get this rolling. So it's definitely see you when you get out of jail. I've never played Kenshi before. What's the chill background music? It's just like some lo-fi playlists. Context? You mean context for this? Here. Steam shooter Fortune's Run going on hold because the developer is going to prison. So he made an announcement. Extremely sad, depressing news, Act 3. Wow, this is very depressing. I'm dizzy. As of recently, the solo developer of this game have been sentenced to prison for the next 3 years. The game isn't totally dead, but it's unclear what will happen. So, yeah. Development will be completely interrupted until I'm released. Imagine you go in... Okay, this is not... Imagine this happened like 2 years ago. They didn't go deeper into why they got to prison, which I think is fine. Imagine this happens and like... What's gonna... Like, you get out of like prison and then suddenly there's like use and develop. Oh, we're gone. Why are we gone? Come on, OBS. Oh, we're back. Fine. The stream went to prison. So yeah, maybe in Norway they could keep developing, but I don't know where they're from. So no idea. But yeah, don't go to jail. They took Marnix. Too bad. Maybe they should play like I don't know, Thief Simulator. I do kind of also want to play. I just wonder. I'm not as much of a Thomas Brushhead as some people may think. When his, I do wonder when his game does come out, because it is one thing. Oh, there is a demo already. Never mind. I'm gonna play the demo soon, but I feel like the demo. Wait, no, the demo. There is no demo. It's not gonna work, right? Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. There's no demo yet. I guess he's planning a demo at some point. Oh, he's doing a separate demo page. I get it. Okay, so he can get reviews for the demo. I'm curious when it'll release, because I do definitely want to play this one as well. There's no demo, but he's... This is because of the change with Steam pages. I was confused for it as well, because I was working on a demo as well. But it needs to get uploaded. Like, you need to get the store page live. Like, you can get... I think you can get wish lists. Or you'll get a wish list when the demo page goes live, basically. Do tower defense games have any chance in today's market? I think Krzyzewski talked about it. It works if you combine it with some new stuff. If you just make Bloons Tower Defense 7, it's not gonna work. Yeah, like take tower defense and FPS shooter, or I think like... there. I think he talked about it in like a pretty recent video, blog post. Where basically he's like, traditional tower defense is basically dead. Yeah, where it like has to be like a base builder at the same time. Yeah, Thronefall indeed as well. Like you have to add, yeah, Thronefall is here indeed. Like you have to add stuff to it. So this is tower defense, but also like village building. Tower defense, and then also like make the giant stuff as well. So that is kind of the new thing you have to do. Like like I don't even know if you have like a blue. Wow, why is this on Steam? I guess because they don't have in-app purchases here. They still have in-app purchases. Never mind. I think if you were to make this game now, like just a basic tower defense game like this, I don't think it would perform as well anymore, or at all. Oh, you can see the available items. Damn, this game is fucking expensive. Jesus. Oh, oh, they just have 5 things, so I guess... Huh, still. It's a mobile game. A fun fact, it wasn't always a mobile game. It started as a Flash game. Kingdom Rush still releases new game, and that's traditional. Oh yeah, Kingdom Rush. But once again, Kingdom Rush, it's like Bloons Tower Defense. If Bloons Tower Defense 7 comes out, it's gonna be giant. Because of course, because it's Bloons Tower Defense. And Kingdom Rush had the same thing, where there's already a lot of people who care about Kingdom Rush. It's kind of the same story, but then the opposite of a Hyperlight Drifter and Hyperlight Breaker. If like they were to suddenly make something completely different, they wouldn't get as much. I only played Sanctum 2, but I did enjoy it as well. Speaking of enjoying, guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. I did. We had some nice stuff to talk about. So thank you everyone who tuned in, who asked you questions, who listened to all of my rants and my stories and whatever. I don't always know if like these just chatting streams perform well. Like the views are always the highest, honestly, if I just do this. I kind of have like a little bit of a script, but I just talk, whatever, right? But I don't know if this is what I want, like my brand or whatever to be. I guess that's thoughts for future stuff, because it's like I can do these streams more often. The biggest problem I just have is like I don't know what to talk about. I don't want to like start talking about like my personal life, my dating history, how I'm gonna start drama with like some other YouTubers. I know I joke about it, but I'm not actually going to like do other stuff. I like, oh, this is top 10 reasons why I'm going to like, have you guys seen the dream situation? I don't want to do that stuff. So that's like some thoughts of like, once again, it's like, I don't want to do Minecraft streams either. I don't want to become like a pirate software where it's like, oh yeah, you got big on game dev and then do more stuff. I do indeed like the parasocial relationship as well. But I think the biggest problem right now is I like streaming, but 1, it needs to have good content, and 2, it needs to be more sustainable. I guess this is another thing. This is not me asking for money, but it's like things like these Prime subs. If you haven't done so yet, guys, if you have an Amazon Prime, that's the stuff that also makes me, because at the end of it, it's a value proposition. Yeah, I like streaming on a certain degree, but this is also 3 hours that I could have like edited a video. And it's like, at what point is it like more important? It's like, yeah, I can't always edit videos because my brain will explode. I can't always stream either because I have to record videos. But like monetization for live streams is miserable as well. Like if it basically floats on Prime subs and donos, because if you go to like our content, ramble while editing, no, because editing doesn't matter, and also then you just leak like all of the future stuff. I think like this was another good performing stream, right? And it's like, okay, 12 euros, this is fine, I think, but it's like if you then extrapolate it, this was a 3-hour stream as well. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, who even watches this still now? It's like old. Anyways, thank you still. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop doing these streams. Thank you, everyone. Thank you also, Kralik, for subbing with Prime. That suddenly makes this stream a lot more break-even already. Also, I eat in like 5 minutes. That's why most devs don't stream. Waste of time. It's not waste of time. It's like, the thing is, I'm not deving. Thomas, for example, and William, they don't like dev streams because people don't really watch it as much. If like right now we hovered around 130 concurrent viewers this entire stream. 130 peaked at 150. If we do a dev stream or a level design stream, anything that we actually work in engine, 70 viewers, 60 viewers. Like the Minecraft stream, yeah. So we do get YouTube advert revenue. That's what you can see here. Wait, here like 4 euros while live and then 4 euros from replay. That's like the ad revenue. It's not really much. And it's like, okay, we do the dev streams. Like for example, Thomas does the dev stream. He works less efficiently because you can't focus. You also have to read chat and all of that. And 2, it gets less views anyway, so it also doesn't fully make sense either. I don't know where I was going with this. I want to stream. I just need to find a way that streaming makes sense. And that's the thing. People are like, oh yeah, Thomas Brush pushes stuff too much. But it's this, because he pushes everything, that he can keep doing it. And I think that is a problem that I want to get a solution to at a certain point. Because if there was like a number of like every stream I do, we get 1 extra page or whatever, these things would definitely make sense. But they don't. I do it for the love of the game right now. But I have a lot of other games that I actually have to love and make as well. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you haven't joined our Discord, join the Discord. It's really cool. And apart from that, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!